although that seems developing as a most likely option according to Pierre. Minnesota, Winnipeg, Jersey, Colorado, Toronto among a list of teams interested, but Pierre says there are others. He's a UFA. And Alex Kerfoot, according to Chris Johnson, reporter Chris, signs a 1-year extension with Utah worth $3 million. So months ago I had somebody in Leafs guy saying Kerfoot would be a nice ad for the Leafs. I gave him a no guy just because I think they need a little more physical type player, but nonetheless, he looks like he's out of play now, re-signing with Utah on a 1-year extension. So let's get back, Stu, to, obviously Tampa loads up. Bjorkstrand's there for another year. Gord is a known commodity. He's played there before. So these are good fits for Tampa. Seth Jones is an excellent fit for the Florida Panthers. If you're sitting in Brad Treliving's shoes right now and you look at that, obviously, do you counter that? I guess you have to sort of do what you can do to make your team better, but I mean that has to bother you, doesn't it?
It does. And the one thing that was sort of hurting the Tampa Bay Lightning was just sort of the top heaviness of their lineup and not really having the depth scoring. Right, and Nick Paul was sort of stuck with those 18 goals that he had, and his next, I think his line mate was Gonsalves with 2 goals, and Isimon at 4 or 5. So adding Bjorkstrand, I think he's going to play probably with Cirelli and Hagel. He's got 16 goals and 37 points, but Nick Paul as well. So he has someone to play with, a guy that's a great third line. It doesn't matter who the other winger is, but you have Yanni Gord and Nick Paul. Like that is a third line that really pushes the needle. So if I'm Toronto now and you're in a series, and you got McMahon, Domi, and Robertson, I'm like, I don't know if it's that heavy enough to really deal with Nick Paul. He is a guy that can really, really hurt you on the fly, off the rush, on the penalty kill. So if I'm Toronto now, I really have to look at solidifying that depth. And for me, I think it's the Lorentzes, the Dewars, the Yancroaks, the Camps, the Holmbergs, like. It's a little bit of redundancy there. It's the same type of player, can skate, can make some plays, can, here and there, put the puck in the net. You need a guy that I believe is big, strong, can win faceoffs potentially in the middle or slide over to the wing and really, really play some good, heavy, playoff style hockey. So the good thing is that type of player I don't think is going to cost you an arm and a leg. I don't think you'd go out and get a Shen. I think that's going to cost you too much. It's either a Lawton, I was going to say a Jake Evans type player, but he's off the board. Yeah. But a big winger that can really move the needle, I think, is in the cards for Toronto.
And it's not going to be for cheap, that's for sure. We know that now. The price is going to be high. So I'm just going to read off these top three Tampa lines. Don't know if the Leafs will play them in the playoffs, but this would be the matchup, right? You've got in the top line point centering Kucherov and Gensel. Second line is Cirelli, Bjorkstrand, and Hagel. Third line is Gord, Gonsalves, and Nick Paul. I mean, that's formidable, isn't it?
It is. Right? And again, as soon as I hear Nick Paul, I literally get flashbacks of when he scored 2 goals against Toronto, I believe, in one series to ice. Yeah. Right? I got the worst memory, but I do remember that. Right?
You remember the bad things.
Yeah. So yes, who do you do to combat that? I think you need big, strong, can skate. Yeah, maybe a big, a McMahon type player, but again, where is he going to be? Is he going to be top 6, middle 6, bottom 6? I'm not too sure, but I'm not really confident in a 7-game series with the Nick Robertson Domi line being sort of that head-to-head matchup. So, maybe you need some flexibility where you get some of that could potentially put Tavares down to the third line in the middle against those guys to win some faceoffs. But you have to solidify it with what you have, because I don't think the guys, right now that Toronto has really, really moves the needle, right? Yancroak, I think it's going to take him another 3 weeks to get up to par. Kemp has been serviceable. Lorentz has been hot and cold as well. McMahon, he hasn't been shooting the puck as of late too. So that bottom 6, I think, needs to solidify with another body, possibly too, as well.
So let's flip this around. Let's say you're playing Florida, and everybody knows what Florida has up front, and it's formidable. But look at the defense. So you got Forsling and Ekblad, Mikola and Seth Jones, Schmidt and Kulikov. That's pretty tough to get through. That's no offense.
The equalizers. They got a lot of equalizers back there, right? You saw what Forsling did at, the Four Nations. His numbers are amongst, I think, the top 5 or 10 defenders in the National Hockey League. His underlining numbers and how he just stops rushes, gets pucks out, clears the front of the net. He is a legitimate number 1 NHL defenseman. He's surpassed an Ekblad, who was their go-to guy, for the last, possibly 8, 9, 10 years. So that's a pretty, heavy lineup back there, right? Schmidt's a serviceable guy. He's been around for over 10 years. Kulikov is usually in the top 4, with Winnipeg and other teams amongst, the last couple seasons as well, too. But Jones, I think people are going to be surprised what Jones can do, where he's slotted as a number 4, and he doesn't have to give you 24, 25 minutes. Gives you anywhere from 18 to 21. He's got 27, 28 points this year, too, but he's big, he's long, he can make a good first pass, and he can skate as well. So, that coupled with the system and the never say die attitude, this Florida Panthers team, I know Toronto's sitting in first, but I think they got to load up a little bit more, because I'm just thinking of that 7-game series. I think they need another body or 2 or possibly 3.
So just looking at the Leaf lines as they warm up, it's the exact same lineup. Everybody in the normal spots that they were in the last game, and Wall is the starter. And really, Wall he's got to bounce back from that performance Sunday, doesn't he?
Yes, he's got to bounce back from the bounce back off the back wall. Right?
Yeah, Wall gets walled.
Yes, and again, it caught Stolar's last game as well. So again, but the one thing I can say is they got a lot more equity than in years past. So when's the last time you can sit there and say Wool had a really, really bad game? And it's been a while. While. So again, I'm going to be interested to see how he responds against a Vegas Golden Knights team that is, you want to know what playoff style hockey is. Oh. Watch the Vegas Golden Knights. Big, fast, strong, can skate. Jack Eichel is amongst the league leaders in plus minus to go with his, close to 70 points that he has, right? And, Mark Stone, you saw what he did at the Four Nations Cup. Dorofiev's got 24 goals. Hurdle's got 46 points. Like, they got some depth. And Barbashev on the third line with Howden and Kolasar, they got close to, 50 goals between them as a third line. So this team is deep. They're big. They're heavy. And we haven't even talked about the defense yet, too. So it's going to be a really, really interesting game, but they're going to get a sense of what they really, really need at the deadline, because this Vegas Golden Knights team, they mimic what you're going to see possibly in a Florida, a Tampa Bay, or even possibly even a New York Rangers team.
Well, look at this top line. Eichel between Stone and Pearson. Look out. That's got space creating written all over it.
Yeah.
Get out of my way.
And it's funny, you look at Olofsson on the fourth line, he's got 11 goals. Nicholas Roy, 7. So that is depth. That is balance. But again, you're going to see some nastiness tonight, because again, anytime you're going to hear some Toronto fans, I think, in the building, and I think they're going to take some offense to that, and I think you're going to see a little bit of nastiness in this first period. I think that's going to be Vegas's MO tonight.
New way to gauge the Canadian road team's participation in the stands. Listen to the American national anthem.
Yes, or the Canadian anthem. They'll participate on that one.
That's right, yeah.
But again, that's a whole other can of worms. Let's skip that topic, guys.
Can of worms, good category.
I will not take that for 200, Alex. No.
Can of worms for 200, Alex. What is? Yeah, we'll leave that one alone. Another road trip starts. So they won out their last road trip in 4 out of 5. Was it 4 out of 5 in the one before? So I mean, they've won. They've only lost one in 2 road trips. That's pretty good.
Yes, and that's sort of, they call that the road trip of death. I don't think, no, it's the Vancouver-Anaheim one. But, again, they did some good, work against Seattle, Calgary. Vancouver was a close game, 2-1. But I think you're going to get a sense now of where this team is at playing against Vegas Golden Knights, but then even a Avalanche team who's in a wild card position. You have the Utah Hockey Club who's, really fighting for their playoff lives as well, too. So you're going to see a little bit of desperation and urgency, I think, from all 3 clubs. And you saw sort of the sense of that against the New York Rangers the other night. The team was very, very desperate. They found a way just to sort of stick around until the final buzzer. But it's going to make for good hockey. And, again, I'm interested to see. Again, it's tough, with my schedule to stay up and watch some of these late games. And, I don't really watch a lot of Utah. And, I see, some of Vegas. But as a hockey fan, I'm really, really interested to see how Toronto fares against these groups.
Yeah, so last 8 games on road trips, they've won 7 of the last 8. The only one is the loss in Vancouver. That's pretty darn good. And, if you go back to, I want to say early December, they didn't even have a 500 road record. So now they sit at, just let me get my notes out, 18-9-2 on the road. That's pretty darn good.
That's really that's really good. listening to some of the other programs, yeah, I think we are allowed to do that. Just some of the, the situations where they've improved upon their rush chances. They've improved. They went from the last place team in breakaways allowed per season to, top 5. So they're really, really shoring it up on the defensive end of the puck. And that equals wins, especially on the road where you have to play that style. So kudos to not just Craig Berube, but the whole entire coaching staff, where I think they've instilled a sense of culture on playing the game the right way. And I think it's going to pay dividends in the playoffs.
Absolutely. And by the way, we were talking about power plays. The Leafs is 10th in the league at 23.5. Vegas Fires at 28.5. Number 3. That is 28.5%. That's stunning.
Discipline. That's all I'm writing. A big D, and I'm walking out.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, what'd you want us to do? Look at that power play.
Yeah, stay out of the box.
Yeah, we'll set up the opening faceoff for you next. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties
What's up, insiders? How we doing this evening? It's a late one. Las Vegas, Nevada. Get your coffee, Leafs fans. I've got mine ready. I've got to fix this camera here, but the wall has been painted. Go, Leafs, go! Go, Leafs, go! Bring the energy in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. The chat is already popping off. Mr. Roboto, Rod Bottomley, hanging out with us. Brad Smith, Lisa Aiello. People have been popping in all night long, because that's what happens at these late games. Just wanted to say thank you for being here. Cheers to all of you. Now let's get to the hockey. Go, Leafs, go.
Have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
This is a message from United Way to a Jesse M. of Mississauga. Hello, Jesse. You might be wondering why we made an ad specifically for you. Because, Jesse, you see, we're fighting poverty any way we can. Even cold calling a complete stranger over the radio. Bold, isn't it? Together, we can make sure everyone has what they need, like food, housing, good jobs, and mental health support. Join people like Jesse to build a better GTA. Donate today at unitedwaygt.org. Thanks, Jesse.
Another road trip starts, and the Leafs will be away from home when the deadline passes Friday. There's tons of interest in this game tonight because of how Vegas Golden Knights play, and perhaps some sort of a playoff preview that way. Not literally, but how the game is played. Then there's the ultimate question. Who gets added to the mix at the deadline? First things first, will the Leafs continue their fine play on the road? Well, let's find out. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Welcome to Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart reporting. Joe Bone and Jimmy Rouse standing by. Starting lineup tonight for the Leafs goes like this, just as it was Monday. Matthews between Marner and Nyes. Tavares centering Nylander and Holmberg. Domi centering Robertson and McMahon. And Camp centering Yarncroke and Lorentz. On the blue line, it is Riley, OEL, McCabe, Myers, Benoit Timmins. Wall starts in goal. And Stu, what do you make of that? What are you looking for in that lineup?
Well, again, I think it's not many nights the Toronto Maple Leafs are sort of outmanned with regards to personnel and depth and scoring, right? Yes, they have some great scorers in Nyes and Matthews and Nylander and Tavares, but this Vegas Golden Knights team, like, they have depth scoring. They got close to 50 goals 45 plus goals on their third line in Howden, Kolesar, and Barbashev. So I'm looking to see if they could really stick to that system. And they looked a little bit tired last game versus the San Jose Sharks. How do they now handle being on the road? So I'm really interested to see that first 5-10 minutes. Can they manage the puck? Can they manage the turnovers? Can they manage the crowd, right? It's an extended pregame ceremony, as you can see with the 10-20 puck drop. Can they handle the time change, right? So there's going to be all those factors where it could be easily roll over and say, you know what, chalk it up and wait till next game. But I think this is really going to test sort of the urgency and resiliency of this group. And the good thing is that when called upon that and challenged on that, they've responded accordingly. So I think for them, they want to start playing playoff style hockey. What better group to do that against than the Western Conference leading Vegas Golden Knights?
Well, I mean, they've been rolling up the air miles points, so you could see why they ran out of gas in the second period or the third period against San Jose on Monday night.
Yeah, I think it was 9 games and 9 nights, something like that, close to that. But that's today's NHL, right? And if you want to feel sorry for anybody, feel sorry for the Dallas Stars or Winnipeg Jets, where I think they accumulate triple or double the air miles that the rest of the teams do, especially the Eastern Conference. So you're paid very, very handsomely. Yes, there's the human factor, but that cannot be an excuse. Especially, if you're in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Vegas Golden Knights, you're going to be there for a week back and forth. There's going to be a lot of travel miles. You might as well get used to it now.
So spend a lot of time on trades and possibilities of trades, and we'll know for sure Friday at 3 or maybe shortly after, because there's always a trade or two that sneaks in after because they just couldn't announce it in time. But the question for the Leafs is Chris Tanev. When is he coming back? Tonight's coach's comment is powered by your Ontario Honda dealers. Power meets play with the all-electric Honda Prologue SUV, available now at your Ontario Honda dealer. Here's Berube on Chris Tanev's status.
Close, yeah. Well, he's not going to play tonight, but he's getting better and he's getting closer.
Possibly in Colorado, though?
Possibly.
Steven told us, Lorenz told us he's ready.
He's ready to go.
What I guess intrigues you about the potential that he can have there now with Yarncroke and Camp and how those guys can work together?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's a good line that you can trust and put out in all situations. Starting them in their own zone, and that's a good line to forecheck and hunt and just make it difficult for the other team. But I think with Yarny, there's more opportunity to score.
The consistency of your team, top of the division. How much have your guys earned a boost at the trade deadline, do you think?
Earned a boost?
Yeah.
We're all looking to better our team if we can. That's the best way I put it.
How does Pontus Holmberg manage to draw so many penalties?
I think because he's so strong on the puck, and he really does a good job of holding people off, and eventually it gets difficult for the defenders, and he ends up drawing penalties off that. But he does a great job of hanging on the pucks and holding people off in the offensive zone, even in a neutral zone. Wherever he is, he does a real good job of that, and I truly believe that's the reason he draws so many penalties. He doesn't give the puck up easily.
How impressed are you with the way the team's playing, despite how difficult the schedule is right now? Just that one game.
Yeah, no, we've been happy. There's always things that we want to work on and get better. Like the other night in the third period at home against San Jose, we got to do a better job of shutting that game down. We didn't do a good enough job, and they tied it up. We got a point, which is a big point. But I think the team's battled extremely hard through injuries, schedule, all that stuff, and got to keep going.
What's the biggest challenge the Golden Knights pose tonight?
Very good team, offensively, off the rush. They're strong. They hang on to pucks. They defend well. They got Big D. It's a big team. So I mean, it's you're not going to get a lot of room out there. So you got to get your opportunities. You got to capitalize on them. But at the same time, our biggest job, in my opinion, tonight is defending the Golden Knights. Like I said, they're a dynamic team off the rush. They got a lot of guys that make plays. So we got to do a good job off the rush here tonight. We got to do a real good job in our zone of being hard around our net. And wingers doing a good job in their D. Their D shoot a lot of pucks. They're good at getting them through. So those are the biggest challenges.
So let me correct, Lorenz is in tonight. He wasn't in on Monday night. Dewar is out, just to get that all sort of on the same level. The drawing of the penalties, Stu, I mean, Bunting used to do that really well, but the way he did it sort of was aggravating. The way Holmberg does it is a little more honest, isn't it?
You're saying Bunting was diving. No, he was slipping on a banana peel, or he was on a skateboard. Instead of one skate, he had a skateboard, and he just lost his footing.
I would just say he tried too hard to, but Holmberg does it naturally.
Yeah, but I think for him, you saw what happened with him at the beginning of the season on the outside looking in. He wasn't moving his feet, but you see him now moving his feet and fighting through traffic, right? And some guys take the scenic route to the net. Some guys, with the puck or even without the puck, go on the outside and to go around. He's skating through his check, so he's getting a lot more hooks. He's getting a lot more trips because, he's got a guy on behind him, and he's attacking that D. So he's not afraid to go through guys, and when you do that, you're going to draw a lot of penalties. But I'll tell you this. There's no real method to the madness. It's luck. I hate to say it. A lot of it is luck. And, you can see next year possibly he won't even draw half as much. But what I noticed from the eye test is I see him driving through his checks, skating through his checks, and attacking those seams, and just not afraid to absorb that contact. And, some guys, because he's big and strong, have to go above and beyond and sometimes pull him or hook him down.
Just another way to make a contribution. I mean, it's not all setting up plays or finishing them off. He does it in another way, which gets that Maple Leaf power play out on the ice. Let's talk about the Matthews-Eichel matchup. How do you see this sort of developing throughout the game tonight?
Well, it's going to be very American. I'll start off by saying that. But, I think Eichel is sort of excelling where Matthews did last year, where, again, he's playing a great two-way game. He's above the puck. He's one of the top people in plus-minus in the whole entire National Hockey League. So he's evolving, right? Before he had his injury where he had to sit out a while, he was about to be the MVP, and he's getting back to that form. And, yes, he doesn't have, the 50 goals, pace that Draisaitl has, but he's playing some great hockey. He's firing the puck. He's got 182 shots on net, so he's not afraid to skate through traffic. You're going to see him, as Craig Berube said, he's one of those guys that always has the pucks on his sticks. He's one of the league leaders in entries because he just has that confidence putting the puck, through the zone and not afraid to go through guys. But he's a big playmaker as well, too. So you'll see him being probably one of the top players for Vegas Golden Knights because every shift he can make something happen. So I think if I'm the Maple Leafs, especially Austin Matthews, I think you just got to skate, try to outpace them, have good sticks, but don't turn this into a track meet because Berube mentioned it. They can really hurt you off the fly. Their transition from defense to offense, especially in the neutral zone, that could be the difference in the game. So just manage the puck a little bit. Can't turn into a track meet because you saw what happened against the San Jose Sharks. This Vegas Golden Knights can make you pay and pay often if you make those mistakes too many times.
Well, here is Austin Matthews on the challenge Eichel presents.
Yeah, he's always a challenge. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he hangs on the pucks, he's very fast. He kind of does everything really well, and it's always a challenge to play against him, just with his reach and how he's able to separate from guys with his speed and strength and stuff like that. So, it's always fun to play against him. Obviously, he's a great player. I've enjoyed, spending time with him, getting to know him, especially when you were younger, and then obviously playing with him again a couple weeks ago. So it'll be a good challenge.
Considering how well you guys are playing first in the division, how badly would you want a boost at the trade deadline for this room?
I think, you look at our division in particular, it's obviously very tight, and, we know management's going to do the best that they can. I think all we can do is just trust in them. I mean, of course, you'd love to see a boost. I think with the way that we've played this year and the position that we're in right now, we feel really confident, really good about our team and our group. But, this time of year, obviously, it's always, you see teams adding, and, you want to add as well. So I'm sure the management and staff and stuff are doing a lot of thinking right now, doing a lot of homework and stuff like that, and we'll just leave it in their hands. I'm sure they'll do what's best for the team.
Sorry, do you follow trade deadline stuff closely, like around the league, rumors, that kind of thing?
Not necessarily rumors. I think when news comes out, obviously you hear about it and you see it. But rumors are just rumors. So.
Chris Tanev out on the ice this morning. How difficult has it been playing without him, and how much of an immediate impact is he going to have on his back?
Yeah, he logs so many minutes, so many hard minutes for us on the back end, plays against other teams' top lines, penalty kill. He's such a big part of our team and our back end, so it's good to see him back on the ice. I don't know, is he playing tonight or no?
Well, we don't. He's still out there.
I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Obviously it's good to see him back on the ice. So, when he's ready to come back, I'm sure he'll be back. But I think guys have done a pretty good job of stepping in and filling those roles and filling those minutes that he eats up.
We fixate on the goal scoring a lot, obviously, but the assists have been really piling up for you. What do you like about the playmaking side of the game and how the line is going in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. I know that scoring's kind of been, I guess my thing, but I like to think I'm a complete player, so obviously, it's been good just to produce and get those opportunities, whether it's, ones that I get for myself or creating for other guys as well. And, Naizi's obviously a big force there at the front of the net, so it's, sometimes you just got to get the puck there to an area, and he's pretty good at finishing. So, I obviously like to score more, try to stop hitting so many posts, but sometimes that's the way it goes, and you just got to keep shooting and keep believing.
So, Stu, one of the issues is ice time. So, last game, Matthews, 25-55, 16-41, 5-on-5. The rest is special teams. Marner, 27-29, 18-30, 5-on-5. When is it too much ice time?
When you have to name those off in the middle of the season, right? And, rest is essentially a weapon, right? So I think it's way too many minutes, and I'm sure they're probably going to adjust tonight, especially being on the road right now, right? Technically, with the 3-hour change, they're still on Eastern time, and it's going to be a bit of an adjustment for them, right? So especially with the travel, you have to find a way to manage their minutes. So I'd like to see this for an opportunity now to get Yankroke back to, he only played, I think he's averaged 8.5 since he's been back. Let's see what, McMahon could do with 17 minutes, or Domi getting up to 18, 19 minutes. Robertson's only been averaging 12 and 12-10 for the whole entire year as well. So I want to see a little bit more balance, because those minutes, those extra 3-4 minutes, it takes its toll, because game 60 to 80 is so much tougher. It's much more tough checking. There's so much less time and space. So when you're playing those big minutes and you're absorbing that contact, it's going to hurt you for the playoffs. So I'd like to see a little bit more balance, and I'm sure Berube and co are going to make that adjustment, as they probably just figured out, man, that's a lot of minutes. We got to figure this out.
Yeah, here's Bobby McMahon on the Marner-Matthews endurance test.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's something that I don't have. I know if I was playing those minutes, I'd be really struggling on the bench in between shifts, but they look like they're just ready to go all the time again. And that's just comes from the amount of time they've played in this league and at this level, that they're professionals. They take care of themselves, and they're always ready to go.
Where are you at with your game? It feels like the shots haven't been coming for you here lately. What can you do to maybe get more pucks to the net?
Yeah, I think continuing to push to get to that area, because you're not going to get shots, and you don't really want shots from the outside. You want to get to the hard areas of the ice, and I think it just starts from getting maybe on top of the goalie a little bit more, trying to find those little areas. And then just competing to get pucks back to get those opportunities.
What's your sense in the room about how badly they want Brad to add to the group, knowing that trade deadline's just coming up here, and give this team an extra boost?
Yeah, I mean, that's not really anything we're thinking about too closely. It's more we're happy with the group that we have right here. We've been finding some success lately, and it's been a lot of fun. So I think that's been our focus, is trying to play hard for each other and the guys that are here, and let that kind of settle on its own.
Always like seeing Phil drop the gloves and rev the crowd up there the other night.
Yeah, he did a great job there. It was pretty cool, and it was cool to see the response from the fans too. That was awesome, and that's the energy that definitely helps drive us in games. So it was really good for Phil, and good to see.
Steven says he's good to go. Yarncroke comes back here tonight. We'll see those three guys with camp together for the first time. What I guess stands out about the potential that those three guys could do together?
Yeah, I think all three guys, they compete really hard, play the game the right way, and can be physical, and a team or a crew that's hard to play against. Definitely rounds out our team, and should be great to have.
Bobby McMahon getting set for Vegas. So let me ask you this question, Stu, just before we break. Bobby McMahon, a healthy Bobby McMahon, a contributing Bobby McMahon, how vital is that for the Leafs?
I think it's very, very vital and crucial, right? You saw him injured last year. in some of the playoffs as well too. And he's going to be close to hopefully 23, 24 goals. That's a pretty good season, and that's found money for a guy that's not on a heavy cap hit. So again, I think for him, depending on who comes in, I think he can be a third line X factor just because of his speed. He can create off the rush, he can turn pucks over, and he's got a really, really good scoring touch and shot in and around the net. So I think for him, it's just finding a way to isolate him and getting him some good matchups, because he's more slotted better for that third line role or potentially fourth line, right? So I think they got to hide him a little bit, because I could see him, if they make a run on this, I could easily see Bobby McMahon having 7-8 goals come playoff time.
Okay, quick answer here. In a playoff series, where does Holmberg play on this team?
He's on your fourth line. He's He's shown that he can put the puck in the net, as he scored, I think, 3 or 4 in his last 5-6 games. But again, when the going gets tough and it's a heavier game and he doesn't have that much experience, I think the fourth line is probably where he's suited best for a team that's winning a Stanley Cup.
I keep looking at the sleep forward unit, and I go, somebody's going to go. I don't know who it is. I don't have a clue.
Someone's got to keep their bags packed when they get back. Simple as that. Or don't unpack on the road.
Eerily similar, these two teams. The Leafs have played 79 games, have 61 games, and have 79 points. And Vegas has played 60 games and has 78 points. They both lead their respective divisions. So we'll see. This is a pretty good playoff matchup. Not that it would ever happen unless it was the Stanley Cup final, but in terms of what the Leafs are going to be up against to get there, I'm fascinated to see what happens. And the opening faceoff is next with Bonesy and Ralphie. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The best golfers in the world are returning to the Stadium Course for the Players' Championship. And you can hear all the action on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio.
Racing towards the flag. This is a good-looking shot. Rory McIlroy.
All next week, we have coverage from TPC Sawgrass with analysis and player interviews and play-by-play coverage starting Thursday the 13th at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Yes! The Eagle lands from the bunker. Scheffler.
Hear the Players' Championship, Channel 92, and on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL.
What's up, Insiders? How we doing out there? Are we having fun or what? The puck hasn't even dropped yet. What is going on? They keep pushing it back because the Washington-New York game is in overtime. 1:38 left in overtime. 2-2. Somebody score quick. I want to see the Leafs over here. They're coming on, I'm sure, the radio at some point. Let's go. Big shout out to everybody here in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, and as well, big thank you to TSI Allison for the amazing, clear, new backgrounds and this amazing green wall. Your chair's waiting for you, babe. I know you're probably tired, though. Let's go, Leafs. Let's have some fun in the chat. Time for me to go make a drink, and I will be hanging out there cheering on our buds. Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go!
Europe's best clubs.
What a start for Inter! And Barca are level! Brilliant Arsenal goal!
The world's brightest stars.
Mbappe! Kane! Salah to score!
All chasing club soccer's ultimate prize.
A new page in their glorious history!
The Champions League knockout stage, where legends are made. On Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car, and the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
We welcome Utah's Barrett Hayton. Does the P word come up? Do you look at the standings on a daily basis?
You look at the standings, you obviously know what other teams are doing, but at the same time, we know what we have to do. And we talked about it kind of before the break and using the break to kind of have a springboard to this last stretch, kind of be dialed in and feeling good right from the start and trying to build that momentum.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. 24/7 Hockey Talk.
It's
Pittsburgh is the weirdest situation. It's like the start of the year and you tried to pretend that, we're going to do a retool on the fly. No, you're not. They're terrible, but the attitude, nothing to look here. Keep moving. No, Sid wants to play. They're terrible. Like Sidney Crosby's next game that matters is the Olympics. That could be the only time he plays again in a game that matters.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m.
To tangle with the Golden Knights, and we're glad that you are staying up with us wherever you might be, or on the net, or in Europe. Maybe you're just getting up over in Scotland or England, or wherever you happen to be listening. We got people in Australia, I know. At any rate, the Leafs will tangle with the Vegas Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena this evening, and the starting goaltenders, Joseph Woll gets the call for the Maple Leafs. He's 21-11-0, 2.70 goals against average, .907, and the Golden Knights have never scored a goal on him. He is 1-0 and had a shutout in that game. Aiden Hill gets the call. He's been playing the lion's share for the Golden Knights, 22-10-4, 2.52 and a .906 save percentage. He's 2-1-1 lifetime against the Maple Leafs with a 2.12 goals against average. Leafs defending the goal to the left and the Knights to the right as we get set with the face-off at center ice. Austin Matthews backing out. I guess they're not quite ready. Maybe someone hasn't gotten their television going yet. Now we're ready to go. Puck is dropped and we're underway. And a fight, right? Matthew Nyes and Zach Whitecloud. And Nyes delivering a couple of left hands and pounds on his man, and now both to the ice, and the wrestling goes on. And Whitecloud gets taken down.
I have no idea where this would have started. I mean, you've got a defenseman and a forward going at it, and Matthew Nyes, he landed a couple of lefts, didn't he? And I don't think Whitecloud really got
that was
in.
The hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the hit that Nyes ended up being out for a little bit, and he got a bit of an elbow there from Whitecloud when the game back in Toronto. And
it wasn't a penalty.
No.
And that was, I believe it was after the Darnell Nurse.
This was well discussed.
Yep. And you know what? Some people aren't going to like it. I give both players credit.
Well, Whitecloud is a lot more experienced at that than Nyes is, but Whitecloud also found out Nyes is left-handed.
Yes. So did we.
Yes. Played down into the Leaf zone. A bouncing puck goes wide of the Toronto net. Centering effort comes back to the point. It'll be just kept in there by Stone. He gets it in along the boards, but it's cut off. And now Matthews sends it ahead, and Marner will bank it ahead at center. And playing the left wing now for the Leafs was Bobby McMahon in the absence of Nyes. Pass up on the wing in the zone, brought to the line. That could have been offside, but it's waved off. Now Tavares has to go back after it, but lost the handle on it. Gets it back again thanks to the play of Myers to take his man out, and the puck comes to center ice. So an early start to this one as Whitecloud and Nyes decide to settle things from the hit a couple of weeks ago in Toronto. Here the Golden Knights in along the line, trying to drive the net was Colasar. He got taken right to the goal. That was knocked down. The puck comes out at center. Domi trying a little touch pass, but it's brought in offside then by the Golden Knights, and a faceoff will come in the neutral zone.
We just got to look at the New York Rangers losing in overtime at home to the Washington Capitals. Rangers still in a playoff spot, an important point for them. Ottawa wins in Chicago against the Hawks. I'll be honest, I've watched more hockey this year just because there's so many interesting games. And so many teams have an offer, especially in the Eastern Conference, to get in.
Well, and that's where everybody's talking about this trade deadline. There aren't the well-defined sellers.
Yeah.
There is a whole group of teams that are, we really don't know what we're doing.
Although Boston appears.
Yeah.
Now Trent Frederick may not play until the playoffs anyway, but it would appear that the Bruins, even though there's still a possibility to get a wild card spot in the East, they trade a rather important player in Trent Frederick.
Leafs win the face-off and gain the center ice area, but Domi can't get into the zone. It's blocked at the blue line, but a puck rolls back into the Toronto zone for Morgan Rielly, who will get it up on the wing, and now Domi is going to launch it high into the far corner. Robertson in there with a pretty good hit on Nicholas Hague, and the puck comes back out at center, and McCabe is there for Toronto, stretching things out as both teams change. No score, first period. Nylander back in his own zone. A pass up the middle for Yarncrook. Yarncrook trying to give it back. And fortunately for Yarncrook, he just did get the puck out over the blue line by just a hair, because that was a bad pass and it was turned over and quickly brought back into the Toronto zone, but it was offside.
And Anthony Stewart was saying with Jim Taddy in the pregame show, you can't turn the puck over against this team because they're so good off the rush. And Yarncrook, fortunately, the offside prevented us from seeing that.
Matthew Nyes did himself a good service by deciding that he was going to take matters into his own hands here, if for no other reason than to give him that kind of respect and the thought that if you're going to be dirty with me, I'm going to settle it right here. And he handled himself pretty well. Played around back of the net, now into the offensive zone for Toronto. It comes back to the point, and a shot is kicked away by Hill. Kept in at the right point and around to the far side. Camp backing it to the blue line, just kept in there. Long shot, deflected off of Hill and went wide. Leafs fourth line doing a decent job of forechecking. Both teams getting a change in. Matthews over the boards. McMahon taking the position of Nyes on this line, as McNabb for Vegas gets it to the line, and Vegas has been called offside about 5 times here on close plays, and here's another one.
And Vegas has been better of late. They're 5-1 in their last 6. But the 14 games before that, they only won 3 of them. You know, we talk about the Leafs going through that stretch where they were 3-6. Vegas has gone through it. And at home in their last 10, they've won just half of them, 5-2-3.
Leafs go back into their own zone and chip the puck out into center ice, but it's going to go too far. And an icing call will come here against Toronto.
We'll say, I don't think we'll ever see in sports what the Vegas Golden Knights have been able to do since coming into the league.
Well, not their first year or not.
No, since 2017-18, they've won 11 playoff series. Been to the finals twice, conference finals twice, missed the playoffs once.
I mean, that was the most miraculous thing and well-orchestrated drafting and positioning for their very first year that got them. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It was the accidental Stanley Cup finalist.
Yes. Brought in over the line, now driving the net. Back of the goal goes McMahon. Back to the point, long shot, and no traffic in front. Matthews couldn't get there to take the eyes away from Aiden Hill. And he makes a fairly easy save on a wrist shot from Morgan Rielly.
I remember when Vegas was in Toronto that initial season, 2017-18 season, George McPhee was in the media room in Toronto, and they're in a playoff spot. And I said, have your plans changed at all since the start of the season? And he said, oh, yeah. They thought what they'd be able to do is trade a lot of these veteran players they picked up on waivers.
Sure. Here's a win, and a shot by Nylander was stopped by Hill, and the puck comes up on the near boards. Leafs have the first 3 shots on goal as it's played down into the Toronto zone. In against the boards is Brett Howden. He gets it along the boards. A centering pass is deflected and gone up into the screen out of play, and a faceoff will come in the Toronto zone.
And we didn't see if it got to the net or not. Well, I saw the linesman pointing it almost like it was a high stick, maybe.
Oh, no, off the skate of Benoit.
I don't think Joseph Wall knew where it was.
Second shy of 4 minutes played. No score. Tavares scoops the puck and has pushed it up on the left wing side for Pontus Holmberg. He'll get to center ice, but is taken down on the play. And now the Golden Knights can't get into the zone, and Nylander comes in over on the right wing. He's going to play it around the boards back of the net, but Holmberg couldn't get there in time, and the Knights failed to get it out the first time, and the second time they wired into the bench. So a faceoff is going to come back in Vegas territory as a result. A kind of a strange road trip for the Maple Leafs. They are in the Western time zone here tonight with the late start. Then it's like they fly home, except the game is going to be in Utah. And that's going to be, or at least Colorado, and that's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern start.
The 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock Central, right?
Right. And then they go back and play in Utah, and it's going to be a little bit later. As here's a chance in on goal, a backhand, and they score! Hurdle gets the rebound after Wall had made an excellent save, but there just wasn't anybody back there.
Well, what happened, the puck goes up in the air, and Jake McCabe has no idea where it is. And it lands on the left wing side. And then for some reason, Joe, Jake McCabe, it was his shot that went off his skate and up in the air, and McCabe decides he's going to take the guy in the high slot. And that allowed Vegas to take it right to the net. Who is that? Brendan Saad takes it right to the net. Wall makes the save, but is still sliding to his left when the rebound comes back out short side. And Thomas Hurdle just pokes it into the empty side. And second shot of the game for Vegas has them up 1-0. They're 27-5.
24th goal of the season for Hurdle. But he's minus 12. They've got some minuses on this team. As the puck comes along the boards and a shot taken by Camp deflects to the far side. McCabe really got into the middle and then really didn't take either man. He was looking at Hurdle as the trailer. And then when Saad took it to the net, he turned and went after Saad. And then by then he had left Hurdle alone, and Hurdle is able to punch it in to an open net after the save made by Joseph Wall. So it's a 1-0 Vegas lead. Camp trying to keep the puck in. Nylander was tripped. There's going to be a penalty here to Vegas. Goaltender Wall to the bench. Timmins circles back behind the Toronto goal. Now he drops it back for Austin Matthews. Matthews gives it back. I wish they wouldn't be passing the puck around that empty net as often, but they'll get it up on the wing now. And Tavares drops it back for Matthews, and Matthews dropping it back even further. And now with speed coming out of his zone is Marner. Up on the right side for Matthews. And all of this, and a turnover comes right in over the line, and the first power play will come, and it will be to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we looked at this before the game. The Vegas Golden Knights have been shorthanded 122 times. That's 58 less than what the Maple Leafs have been. Two teams that play physical, and yet...
I think we said, but the other side is the Leafs have had 26 more power plays than Vegas.
So here's the power play.
Sorry, Joe. Another break that the Leafs got was by holding onto the puck. Matthew Nyes gets out of the penalty box.
And the power play brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Leafs with the man advantage. They'll keep the puck in as Nylander had it knocked off his stick, but Matthews swings it around back of the net. Nyes let it go to Tavares. Back to the blue line to Nylander. Aggressive forechecking by the Golden Knights as Nylander carries into the corner. Now back to Marner. Quickly over for Matthews. Back to Marner. Marner down on the right side for Nylander. Back to Marner with traffic in front. The shot stopped. The rebound gets into the pads of Hill, and he's able to squeeze the legs to make sure it didn't trickle in.
Well, both goals that the Leafs had against San Jose on Monday night came on the power play, and they were shooting the puck a lot more. And even though you don't get that rocket from Mitch Marner, he tries for the redirection here. Gets it in the high slot. John Tavares gets a piece of it. Can't get it to the net, but it goes off the backboards and almost gets through the pads of Aidan Hill trying to track it down.
Back to the point it comes. Nylander got a wrist shot away, and Hill was able to get across and stop that and smother it.
I'm going to ask you this. Matthew Nyes from Phoenix, Arizona. Zach Whitecloud from Brandon, Manitoba. When's the last time you saw an American and Canadian fight 3 seconds into a hockey game?
In a National Hockey League game?
No. Overall.
Well, you know what? Hostilities cooled out quite quickly after this one. Shut down the ice by Vegas. Marner behind the goal, starts out with it. Works up on the right wing, drops the puck back. Matthews trails and carries to the line and in on the right side, dropping for Tavares. Tavares trying to slip it back to the blue line, but it's knocked away and cleared down the ice, and Wall's going to have to come out and play it as Marner took the chance of trying to block that. Now brought back into the offensive zone by Toronto and against the boards. Vegas very aggressive on the forechecking on going man-to-man as Marner drops it back for Matthews. Back to Marner, right wing side centering. And that was deflected by Nyes and it went wide. Now Nylander in the far corner. Holds back to the point. It goes to Marner again. Now to Matthews at drive. That's up the rebound in the goal crease. They jam away at it and it's cleared to the line and out. Looked like the Leafs had numbers down low that they would have been able to find a way to get that past Hill, but they didn't. Marner down into the corner for Nylander. Fresh troops over the boards with Robertson out there. Now here's Matthews to Nylander, and the pass deflected wide. Willie to the side of the goal. Now McMahon trying to find a loose puck. Nylander got it into the slot, but it was out of the reach of Marner. And a shot deflects off of the man in front and out deflected right off the goal post. Great chance, but the penalty expires, and it is brought in over the line. That looked like it might have been offside, but the Leafs have the puck anyway in their own end. Some good action around that Vegas net with the power play, but it's still 1-0 Golden Knights. Back in their own zone, Hanifin got it up on the right side. Turning back is Thomas Hertl. And Hanifin gets his pass and steps over the red line and fires it in. Riley tried to poke it out. Played back into the slot area, but out of the reach of its intended receiver. And Gorofiev, and now back around the far boards. The Leafs get a long lead pass ahead, but unable to track it down was Yarncrook. He gets it in front of the net, and a shot by Lorenz is stopped and scooped up by Aidan Hill.
Leafs out shooting Vegas now 9-2. Thanks in no small part to the power play, but still trail on the scoreboard 1-0.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Follow President Donald Trump's first 100 days in office from every angle on the SiriusXM app. From live breaking news channels to deep diving political podcasts and the latest White House coverage and analysis with the SiriusXM political.
What's up, insiders? All right, we're down 1-0. It is not the start that we wanted tonight, but it's all right. It's way early. 1-0 Knights, Golden Knights. What do we? I just can't get behind the Golden Knights thing. But there you go. I've got some photos from a very special insider, Miss V Veronica D. She is at the game tonight, and she sent me over some photos. I just have to get them uploaded onto the right computer and get it going. So we'll probably do that during the first intermission. Hang tight for that. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that like button. We got to get more likes on these Leaf streams. We're already seeing more people coming in because of you guys and gals hitting that like button and sharing this out. Let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's get something on the power play. We'll see you back in the chat.
lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Leafs lineup brought to you by Molson, official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Chris Tanev skated today. That's good news. He should be back shortly. Dakota Mermis, Alex Steeves, and Ryan Reeves are the scratches for the Maple Leafs this evening in Vegas. Golden Knights get the puck to the blue line, but a long shot is fired in, gloved but thrown aside by Aiden Hill. And it is backhanded to center now by Hanifin. Through the line and in. The Leafs play it right back out again. And Marner on the left wing this time. Trying to bank it past the defenseman but failed. And it's cleared back into the Toronto zone. Morgan Riley goes back for it. A long lead pass for Marner on the right side this time. Backhands it again. This time knocked down out of the air by Mark Stone. And three of the Golden Knights bring it in over the line. Pearson with a shot. That was stopped. The rebound is stopped again by Wall. And the Leafs will break it out at center ice with Holmberg getting it up on the wing as it is shot in. Hill slowed it up, but the Leafs get to it in the corner. And then they try to make a pass to Pontus Holmberg. But it is getting too close to the net. And Aiden Hill will stop it and put the glove on it to stop play.
Aiden Hill's on a bit of a roll, 3-game winning streak, and has given up a grand total of 2 goals in those 3 games. That included the 2-0 shutout.
There you go.
Over the New Jersey Devils. Game that cost the Devils Jack Hughes and Sheldon Keefe $25,000. Ejected from the game.
Vegas playing the puck out and down the ice, and the linesman says that is an icing, and so we will take time to introduce Wes McCauley and Trevor Hansen, the referees. Mitch Hunt and Brandon Garlitz are the linesmen tonight. Bruce Cassidy having a word with Wes McCauley at the Vegas bench. Draw won by Toronto. Fed to the near side. Myers can't shoot it at the net. Sends it back of the goal. Far side it goes to Nylander. He steps off and got it in front of the net. And a good shot from a good spot by McNabb. Deflected wide of the goal. Now here's Vegas back in over the line. And Myers gets his stick in the way of that. And has sent it up into the screen and out of play. And 9:45 remains here in the first period. Vegas with a 1-0 lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew. Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Face-off coming, and brought to you by Alpine Credits. Do you own your own home and need a loan? Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca.
Talk about different ways to build a team, and Vegas obviously was built through the expansion draft and didn't let go of a lot of players that they had. one thing they did let go of, first-round picks. They have had 8 in their history. Only 2 of them are still in their system, either on the Vegas Golden Knights roster. But they don't have another first-round pick show until 2027.
Graf Schmaff, I believe, was Cliff Fletcher's term, wasn't it? Played down into the Vegas zone. Turnover. Here's Kemp sending it in from a sharp angle, and it hits the mask of Aiden Hill. And where it's gone, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it went up over the glass into the mesh.
I thought for a moment it went down and into underneath his collar.
So David Kemp. Was it Kemp or McMahon? Might have been McMahon from below the goal line. I was with you. I thought it was 64, but I think it was 74.
Yeah, might have been. You might think you're right. Draw one by Hurdle. Played high to center ice and too far. Down the ice it's gone. Timmins will get back in time to create the icing, and they'll bring it back into the Vegas zone.
Bobby McMahon tries to go below the goal line off the back of Aiden Hill's head. Dump Worsley might have taken exception to that.
Yes, he would have. Yep. Billy Smith would have taken exception, and you would have been spitting some.
At least Billy wore a mask.
Yeah, but yeah, he would have been tomahawking you on the way by. Played around back of the net for Robertson off a face-off win. Robertson against the boards, had it taken away, and the Golden Knights get it out at center ice, and it's backhanded by Grofiev down into the Leafs zone. Leafs get it back out, and it'll be stretched out here now by the Golden Knights as Braden McNabb plays the puck ahead at center. Now brought right back in, and again, another McMahon shot is swallowed up this time by Hill.
I've actually liked the way the Leafs have come out in this game. You know, I think even when you go through all the games since the break for the Four Nations Cup, and starting with the game against Carolina, the Leafs have played solid, but there have been big holes in every game. You know, against Carolina, they're up 4-0 after the first. They needed an empty netter, 2 empty netters to put the game away. They had, 4 or 5 shots in Chicago in the first period. They've had some moments where they have not been great. And yet in this one, I think they've had a lot of jump. They've had their leg.
Well, they've certainly been road warriors here. Here's a chance down the back end, and it scores! Brett Howden comes in on the right wing.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to agree. Wall has to have this one.
This is a backhand that goes under the right arm of Wall and squeezes through. And despite out-shooting Vegas 11-5, just past the midway mark of the first period, the Knights are up 2-0. I even, and not to be overly critical, Joe, on the first goal, I thought it was one of those where he'd overplayed it. Kind of slid out of the net, and that allowed for the easy one. But when you get the shots that go through you, I know it's difficult. The guy's got pretty good speed coming down on the backhand, so it's tougher to get a read. But anything that goes through the goalie is not considered a good goal. And for Joseph Wall, who gave up 5 in Pittsburgh Sunday afternoon, not the start he wanted to right the ship here in Vegas.
17th of the season for Brett Howden. And the Golden Knights have got a 2-0 lead here in the first period. And it was really quite an innocuous kind of a play, and a backhand, too, that, I mean...
Yeah, now, technically, Austin Matthews had Howden coming out of his own, out of the Vegas end. And then Matthews chased the puck, and Howden went to the net. Got the pass, and that was the lane that brought it in.
Morgan Riley, kind of, the defense tandem did a switch on coverage, and Howden ended up getting a fairly clear shot at the net, but again, it was on the backhand. Now, Nylander working in over the line for the Leafs, and a shot. That was blocked. The puck comes back into Myers, a shot, and that deflects wide. The Leafs had a couple of good scoring chances there. McNabb trying to play it back down into the zone, and it will be played around on the boards. And back into the Toronto zone once more. McCabe on the left wing side, got it ahead for Marner. Marner across the line, stalls up, holds, Still with it, looking in front of the net. Tried to find Matthews for a redirect. It didn't happen. Matthews around the boards for Marner. Marner against the wall and into the corner. Double teamed in there. Can't come up with the puck. And Alex Pietrangelo will get it to the far boards, but not out of the zone. Leafs trying to keep it in, and they do. Matthews back to the blue line, but it squirts out at center ice. And now Vegas bringing it back into their own end, and they'll organize as both teams are getting a change. 7:24 to go here in the first period, and it's 2-0. And now a chance with a wrist shot taken by Eichel that was partially blocked. Leafs unable to get the puck out. Stone keeping it alive on the near boards for Hanifin. He plays down into the corner. Vegas coming away with the loose puck, trying to dig it free. It goes back of the net. Brandon Saad couldn't get it, but Eichel is able to free it up. It's turned over again. Leafs Domi starting down the left wing boards will get it and flip it towards the net. And Hill will take no chances, stopping play with a cover. And there'll be a face-off coming in Vegas territory, leading the Leafs by a score of 2-0.
The Leafs really have, we talk about some of the offense being down. The power play at times has struggled. They've been able to get some secondary scoring, but the one thing that has been consistent for them from the start of the year is goaltending. And now we're seeing from Joseph Wall what happens when you don't have the goaltending you've come to expect at this point. And as you can see, it's a struggle.
Played down into the Toronto zone off a face-off win. Riley got it around the boards, but it's cut off. Comes back to the point. D to D. McNabb to the far side. And a long shot went high over top of the Leaf goal. Vegas getting it back to the point again. McNabb just does keep it in. Oliver Ekman-Larsson cuts off the cycle and got it ahead for Robertson. Robertson couldn't get it by McNabb. The defenseman down into the corner is Saad trying to get it in front of the net. They'll bank it back to the blue line. McNabb with it again with a long shot that's blocked. The rebound was fired wide of the goal by Thomas Hertl. Kept in at the far point. Around on the boards to the near side. Robertson's not going to get there in time. McNabb gets it back of the net. Hertl with it again. This time intercepted by Robertson. He got it off a glove and out into the center ice area. And some much needed change coming for the Maple Leafs.
That's the first bit of offensive zone time for Vegas, isn't it? And it's almost 15 minutes into the opening period.
Left wing pass then for Camp. Long shot. Steered wide of the net by Hill. Leafs have had 14 shots on goal. Vegas 5. But it's 2-0 for the home team. Back to the point. It bounces past and a race for the puck. Here's a chance and over the line again for Howden. And that was stopped by Wall. His best save so far. Yarncrook back of the goal. Can't free the puck up. Now tries to send it around the boards. That was blocked. And then he pile drives one of the Vegas Knights from behind. Barbashev taken down. And the Knights are going to go to the power play as a result.
This power play, third best in the NHL, and it all starts with a puck that just skips past Thibaut Benoit and leads to another chance off the rush by Vegas.
We'll step aside. It is 2-0 Vegas. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Fantasy Footballers are on Sirius XM.
It's about time you won your league, and we're here to help.
Becoming a fantasy football champion is a year-long process, and the biggest fantasy football podcast has the insight you need. Listen to the Fantasy Footballers podcast right now on the Sirius XM app.
Fantasy football is
What's up, Insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Maple Leafs game. Now's the time of the show for you to let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Speaking of which, where's Tom? Tom!
I'm right here, Dad.
Hey.
And I want to know where you're from, too, and see how far it reaches.
All right, so you heard the man. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. City and province in Canada, city and state in the United States, all over the world. Let us know. Put your flag emoji in the chat or let us know your city and country. So great to be hanging out with all of you tonight. Now let's get back to the hockey. What are we going to start? Start the chant, Tom.
Go Leafs, go.
Yeah.
Score!
All chasing club soccer's ultimate prize.
A new page in their glorious history.
The Champions League knockout stage, where legends are made. On Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car, and the Sirius XM app.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound. Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Vegas on the power play. Yarncrook for boarding.
Pretty tough to sugarcoat that one, wasn't it?
No, that was a pretty good hit. And a 2-0 Vegas lead that the Leafs are in desperate need of having a good penalty kill here.
And Vegas third in the NHL in the power play. 4 for 7 in their last 2.
Draw one by Toronto, but kicked into the corner and secured by Stone. He gets it back to the point. Hanifin will give it off on the far side. Looking across ice for Eichel and finding him, and the one-timer scores. It has gone all Vegas's way here in the first period, and it is 3-0 on the power play.
Hey, Jack Eichel's got the great one-timer, top of the left wing circle. And I think Anthony Stolar's show is coming into this game. 3 goals on 7 shots. And Joseph Wall, who picked up the win despite giving up 5 in Vancouver, in Pittsburgh on Sunday, is not going to finish the opening period here tonight. And it didn't appear that there was a screen, did there?
No, and he was deep. He was deep in the net, too. So Eichel makes it 3-0.
His first goal in the last 6. Only his 4th power play goal of the year. Is that right?
Yep.
And other than the Stolar's injury.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that a goaltending change has been made because of game action rather than an injury. So Anthony Stolarz is in goal for Toronto. 13-5-3 and a 2.20 goals against average. But it has all been Vegas here in a first period that has been dominated by the Maple Leafs. And that is the frustrating part. Holmberg can't get the puck out. Here's a chance for Howden. Got it into the near corner. Now back to the point. The one-timer is blocked, and the Leafs are able to work it out at center ice and just play it in over the line, but out of the reach of Nylander. Pushed along the boards by Myers, who gets it down into Vegas territory, but not much further. And Vegas reorganizing as Haig drops it back to his defense partner, Hanifin, who gets it out at center ice, but it's going to go over the boards and out of play. And a face-off will come in the center ice area as Jack Eichel makes it 3-0 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. And it's a good hard shot, and it caught. Well, it was up high. It was a good shot, but if Wall is out another foot, he probably gets a piece of this, right?
This is 3 weeks ago. He stops that.
Yeah.
Right?
Place down in the zone. A shot. Hill makes a good save on a wrist shot taken by Nyes. And the Golden Knights get it back at center. Tanner Pearson has it broken up at the blue line. Leafs just get it out at center. Now they'll work it up on the right wing for Nyes. Nyes on the far side. Marner getting it back into the slot. Timmins a shot. That was partially blocked. Nyes with Matthews getting the rebound, getting it back to the point. Left wing side, Benoit. Set it purposely wide, and it banks off the end boards and is now brought out at center ice by Vegas. Stolen back by Timmins. Nyes gets to the red line and shoots it in. Whitecloud took a bit of a run at him there. They've already had an opportunity to exchange pleasantries. And now Vegas sending it down into the Toronto zone with 3 minutes left to go in a disastrous first period. Bouncing puck in front goes down into the corner. Stolarz hasn't felt the disc at this point, and the Leafs get it out for Bobby McMahon, who just pinches it into on the boards. Robertson in pursuit, but won't get there. The puck goes around to an empty corner. Riley pinches to keep it alive, back of the net, and unable to trap it with his skate there was McMahon. And out come the Golden Knights to center. Roy in over the line, tried to fake a backhand and curl, gets it back to the point. Shot went off Domi and has cleared the glass and gone out of play. 2:24 left to play here in the first period, and 3-0 the Vegas Golden Knights with the lead.
Well, the official line on Joseph Wall's night, 3 goals on 7 shots. The Leafs have had 14 at the other end. Like I said, you just talk about how you like the Leafs start. They've been getting lots to the net. Even the power play looked good. And then Vegas comes down on their first rush and scores to open the scoring, and then a bad one, making it 2-0.
Well, Leafs going to be offside as Tavares tried to bring it in on the right wing, but I think it was Nylander was unable to get out of the zone in time.
Well, the Leafs do have a 3-0 comeback on the road this season. That was not long ago in Boston. Led the Leafs to win it 5-4 in overtime with a Mitch Marner goal. Although Golden Knights might be a little different level than the Boston Bruins right now.
Pietrangelo got it to center to the Leaf blue line. Myers pushed it back into neutral ice, and it is cleared by Yarncrook down into Vegas territory. Hill out of the goal to play into the corner. Off the glass and out and down the ice, and an icing call will come here. With 1:52 to go in the period. And if they are going to claw their way back into this game, it would be nice to get a goal here in the final moments of this first period. Draw to the right of Aiden Hill. Won by Toronto. Riley into the corner. Marner to Matthews. Stolen but recovered by Marner, who cuts to the net. A shot is into the glove of Hill. And he just coolly throws the puck towards the face-off dot as if it was like picking cherries.
Well, that's 2 goalies starting at different ends of the confidence spectrum, right? I mean, you can just see Aiden Hill challenging, moving extremely well, and at the other end, the tough start for Joseph Wall. 15-7 now the shots favoring the Leafs, and they've had some good looks.
Yes, they have. They win another face-off, too. Played into the corner and around on the boards for Nyes. Tried to chip it to the front. It comes to Matthews. Matthews with a shot. Hit a skate before it reached the net. Nyes back of the goal. Banking it back to Riley into the slot for Matthews, who sends it around back of the net. The Golden Knights are going to get there and get it out. And a foot race for it and a breakaway opportunity out on goal. And Stolarz puts the glove down on Kolasar.
You wonder, why was Keegan Kolasar there? Leafs putting Vegas in the zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson pinched. And Morgan Riley, the other defenseman, back. Riley had kind of a bad read on that play, didn't he? Kolasar picked it up and pretty much had a breakaway from the red line in.
If there is to be a comeback, better circle that. That's the first time Stolarz has handled the puck or had a shot, and it's a breakaway.
You warm yet?
Yeah, you're warm yet. Yeah, are you? Howden got the puck along the boards. The Leafs got it to center and push it out into neutral ice, but Yarncrook will get it in over the line. Now tries to play it off on the wing, and it goes to Steven Lorenz. He got bodied there by Kolasar. Comes in front of the goal, and in the goal crease again. Hill is there to cover up on it. That's 16 shots on goal for Toronto. They've doubled what Vegas has mustered at the other end, but their shooting percentage is a lot better.
If I'm not mistaken, last year the Leafs chased Logan Thompson. Did they not?
I believe you're right. Draw to the left of Hill.
Logan Thompson, since moving to the Washington Capitals, where he's been fantastic this year.
And I think just got a new contract, did he not? A little.
Oh, that was Charlie Lindgren.
That was Lindgren, yeah.
Who played tonight and went over the Rangers.
Played to the near side. Can't get it out on the wing. Bounces to the side of the Leaf goal. Now played ahead. And it'll be Lorenz getting it out into neutral ice with a half minute to go here in the period. Vegas in across the line on the left wing. Good hit by Benoit to stand up his man. Puck goes free to Camp. He'll get it around back of the net. And it is brought out at center by Myers. To the red line and in. It'll bounce into the right wing corner. Unable to get there in time was Bobby McMahon, who got knocked down on the play. Launched high to center ice by Vegas. And the final seconds ticking down here as the Leafs have it with McCabe sending it down into the zone. Hill, who's had a great period, shoots it off the glass and into the crowd with 2.2 seconds left. Is it Nye's time?
I said 3 periods to do it. And how about this with Jack Eichel's goal tonight? Stolarz is going to come to the bench for the faceoff. 73 points now for Eichel in 60 games. The franchise record is 78, set by William Karlsson, their first season in the NHL. Remember, he had the
tremendous season. Yep.
78 points season.
Leafs win the draw, but they're not going to get a shot at the net. And that ends the first period. And as good as it was territorially and chances for the Maple Leafs, it is a bit of a disaster. Eichel, Howden, and Hertl have scored goals and have a 3-0 lead on the books for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Well, they've got to get something to start clicking, maybe get a power play goal to get back into this game. But unfortunately, for Anthony Stolarz, he's in a position like he was in Boston, where you're almost going to have to be perfect over the last 40 minutes for the Leafs to be able to climb out of this. It's going to be a tall order, but next goal, as they say, Mr. Bull,
is a big one.
Is a big one.
And so Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart are staying up late with us. We will ship it off to them. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Build a championship fantasy baseball team with the advice of SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio.
Juan Soto is going to be a first-round pick. He'll continue to put up huge numbers.
Hear winning strategies and player projections from ex-Big League general managers Jim Bowden and Steve Phillips and former pitcher Jensen Lewis.
I love Bobby Wood Jr. over Shohei Ohtani.
Get ready for your draft by listening to our Experts Draft right now on the SiriusXM app and catch all your fantasy baseball talk on Channel 87.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can.
All right, Leafs fans. Oh, boy, that was a tough period. Oh, boy, that was ugly. But it's early. It's early. And I applaud Coach Berube for making that call and pulling Wall out of the game and getting Stoli in there. We've looked better since then. We got a long road to climb. So it's going to be a late one, but it's going to be fun. So there you go. We're going to enjoy it here in the chat, and I need to refill a drink. But we just got a video from Miss V up in the stands that I am going to play here on through the intermission. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to get it during next intermission report or next commercial break. But let me see if I can locate it real quick. All right. So what are our thoughts? How are we feeling out there? Let me know in the chat how we're feeling. Is there any chance the Leafs can get back in this game? Let's get the wave going. Those pink hands. Let's get the wave going. If you think the Leafs can get back into this one, I think they can. I think the goalie change. I think Berube is going to fire him up in the room there, and I think we're going to be all right. Again, we got 40 minutes to play still, so let's see how that goes. All right, now let's see if the upload has finished. There we go. Double. There it is. All right, I'll let the audio run. Thank you, Miss V. Thank you so much for sending that over. Thank you for supporting our buds on the road. That is amazing, and I can't wait to start having people sending messages all the time with videos, with pictures from games. Let me know. If you're interested in going to a game and you'll wear a TSI shirt, we are starting up our website very, very soon. Over the next couple of days, we're in the last testing phase. So be on the lookout for www.torontosportsinsider.com. A lot of merch coming out, and we are going to do something special. I would love to see TSI shirts just flooding Scotiabank Arena. If you're going to a game, we'll figure out a way to get you in a shirt. Miss V, a shirt needs to be sent to you, and you will be one of the first shirts that we send out from the new merch shop that is opening up through the website here. On hopefully we're going to launch it on Leafs night, March 10th, but we'll see. Let's get back to the intermission report. I, again, have to figure out this lighting, but I'm putting together a new monitor right now. So the hub for the Sick Kids and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign. Keep those eyeballs open for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be live all day long doing college basketball and raising money for Sick Kids Hospital. Now let's get back to the intermission. Thanks again for being here. Cheers, everybody. Everett, cheers to you. Cheers to Shield. Welcome to the club. Alexander and David Skull. Wilf, Wayne Johnson, I love it. Brad Smith, Brandy Gale, Byrne, Andrew Hurd, I love it. Let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go. Big second period ahead. We'll see you in the chat.
I think he was screened or somebody skated in front of him, but nonetheless, 3-0 is not acceptable, is it?
No, it's not, right? And again, we talked about this being a playoff test for the style of hockey that they're going to have to play, right? So they just, again, they were discombobulated, no real F3, no real pacing through the neutral zone. They were just sort of almost waiting for the game to sort of come to them. And that's not going to happen against a Vegas Golden Knights team. They're sitting in first place for a reason. It's a very well-depth team. They have great goaltending. They have monstrous defensemen. I think the average height is 6'3", 215 pounds. Yeah. So you're going to have to take, direct routes to the puck, direct routes to the net to have a chance to get back into this game. It's not going to be the power play. It's not going to be off the rush. It's going to be gritty style, playoff style hockey. So they got taught a free lesson, as they would say in the hockey world, in the first period there. But again, the one positive is they have 40 minutes to sort of get back to this. If I'm now Craig Berube, yeah, you might just toss a can. You're not kicking it, but you're just trying to set them up, saying, hey, we get one more, we're back into this game.
You make sure that Jake McCabe has a cup of coffee, right?
Yes. And, you saw him get caught there on that bounce. That's a word. I haven't seen that bounce in a while, right? But, again, you can't blame him. You can't really blame him for that goal. Again, for me, it's, it's a great group off the rush. You saw, I think it was on Sod on the rush, though, but you saw Hurdle come from right field and skate past two or three guys. Yeah. You have to find a way to pick up the puck off of him for sure.
Well, and that's Vegas. So you look at Hurdle, you go, oh, yeah, I remember when they got him. And I'm going to put Vegas in with Florida and Tampa. Somehow these three teams, they go out and get these guys. You think they have no cap room, and somehow they fit them in, and they're the better for it, aren't they?
It's funny. I think I did this last year. I'm like going through the math. I'm like, how do they fit everybody through the cap, right? Tanner Pearson, they just added Sod. Hurdle, they got at, he's at $7.5 million, right? And, Barbashev, they got from St. Louis. So for me, it's a good team, but again, great cap management. But, I was even hearing them talk about, they've drafted a lot of first rounders, but none of them are on this current roster. So, again, it's a great team. It's a great test for Toronto, but I want to play against these guys if I'm the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't want to just be playing against the bottom teams and the San Jose Sharks. You want to know where you stand, especially before the deadline, and this is a great test.
So let me ask you this. I mean, you played, so when you don't have legs in the first period, what are the odds that they show up in the second or third?
Well, you saw Matty Nyes get into the game.
Oh,
right? And how
let's
do you do
go back to that. Yeah, that was great.
His first career fight, and he found a way to get into the game. But you have to find a way to create momentum, create energy, and they did that on the power play, right? They got momentum. They almost scored a goal. Nice, redirecting it and finding a way to get to the net. And they had a good couple shifts after that. But after that, boom, it was the momentum stolen from the Toronto Maple Leafs. So you have to find a way to get into the game, whether it's a hit, whether it's a fight. It's unacceptable to have that start. And I understand they're probably a little bit tired. We talked about the Maple Leafs and some of their big stars playing 24, 25, 27 minutes, but you have to find a way to compete, for all 82 games.
Well, I agree with that, but I mean, the logistics are ridiculous. Sunday afternoon in Pittsburgh, completing a road trip, Monday night at home to San Jose, and a day later you're on a plane to Vegas. I mean, that's going to wear anybody out.
It does, but on the 14th, the checks are still going to hit. The same thing on the 28th.
They're not adjusting. There's no tariff on the check.
No tariff talk. What is that? I have no idea what that is.
Fatigue tariff, yeah.
Yeah, but again, for me, they're in a hole right now, but I'm going to be interested to see how they respond the first 5 minutes. So I'm sure Berube is going to make sure that they come out starting, and I think that first goal for them is key. So the first 5 minutes I want to see.
Aiden Hill is the storyline of the first period. Stopped all 16. He's just superb, isn't he?
Yes, and I'll give him some credit, but a lot of those shots were from the outside. A lot of them are from the flanks. What other than Knives on the power play, what were second or third opportunities? So yeah, he was kind of busy, but I don't think he was overworked. So they have to find a way to get in his eyesight, in front of the net, jam some pucks home if they want to get back to the game. It's not going to happen off the rush or something too fancy.
Stu, thanks very much. Vegas 3, Toronto nothing after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Saturdays, it's hockey like you've never seen before. Welcome to the NHL Hockeyverse. It's the place where real data of NHL action is transformed, literally, into animations. Combining NHL Edge puck and player tracking data with animations to show hockey like never before.
Let's go inside the helmet.
That's right. This is no video game. The NHL Hockeyverse matchup of the week. Oilers vs. Capitals. Watch now on Sportsnet Plus.
Deep breath, piano pickup, hockey drop-off. Oh, did you remember the Farm Boy cupcakes for afterwards? And dinner.
We got this. Voila delivered our groceries this morning. Cupcakes are in the back seat.
Got 'em.
And I got some ready-made pulled pork and Longo's fresh buns for dinner.
Ooh.
Plus, some compliments hot chocolate. A little reward for surviving tonight.
You're on a roll, honey.
Voila delivers fresh groceries from Sobeys, Farm Boy, and Longo's at the same prices in-store with no hidden fees. Voila, your groceries delivered just like that.
This is a message from United Way to a Jesse M. of Mississauga. Hello, Jesse. You might be wondering why we made an ad specifically for you. Because, Jesse, you see, we're fighting poverty any way we can. Even cold calling a complete stranger over the radio. Bold, isn't it? Together, we can make sure everyone has what they need, like food, housing, good jobs, and mental health supports. Join people like Jesse to build a better GTA. Donate today at unitedwaygt.org. Thanks, Jesse.
Your sneakers are staring directly at you. You try to look away, but you can't. You're lace to face. They're saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, and your six-pack won't be either. But you've got to start somewhere. Stop staring. Put us on. Take that first step, or lunge, or squat. Start small. Start somewhere. Join for $7.99 every 2 weeks at fitforless.ca and experience fitness simplified. Some conditions apply. Fit for Less. Everybody happy.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.ca/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed where work is performed. See website for details.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom, wha-bam, zap, turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra or RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Ducks 1-0 over the Canucks after 20 minutes of play. Also after the first, Blues and Kings are tied at 1. Capitals got by the Rangers 3-2 in overtime, and the Senators slipped by Chicago 4-3 in overtime. Utah Hockey Club out with the Brinks truck tonight. Let's see, Vamelka, the goaltender, 5 years at $4.75 per year. Kerfoot signed for a 1-year extension at $3 million, and Cole on a 1-year extension at $3 million. And of course, those other trades that we talked about earlier, none since. It is 3-0 Vegas over the Leafs after 20 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy. The second period is next on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey. TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Feel the excitement of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. Europe's best clubs.
What a start for Inter! And Barca are level! Brilliant Arsenal goal!
The world's brightest stars.
Mbappe!
SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Leafs have some work to do. They're down 3-0 after a first period where they doubled the shot total on the Vegas Golden Knights, 16-8. I think they may have taken one or two away from the Leafs after review during the period. And drove Joseph Woll from the net. And a 3-0 hill to climb here against Aiden Hill of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Well, and with Vegas leads, Joe, after the first period this year, 18 wins, 2 losses, 3 overtime losses. So they've been very good with the lead. But there haven't, just texting with Jim Caddy, Leafs have not had many games this year. And you've got to appreciate this, where the goaltending has been average. Mm-hmm. And this is what happens when it's average against a good team.
Yep.
I would say that there were 4 really good chances for Vegas in the first period, and 3 of them found the back of the net.
Well, the highlight of the period was Matthew Nyes getting even with Zach Whitecloud, who hit him pretty cheap shot in Toronto, and no penalty was called. Nyes suffered a bit of a concussion, but he may have taken some lessons from Ryan Reeves. But I think Whitecloud found out to much surprise that Nyes is left-handed.
Yeah, but obviously it's Nyes who wanted to go, right? So I give Whitecloud credit for it.
Leafs to the right and the Golden Knights to the left as it's flipped into the Toronto zone. Puck along the boards in the near corner. Riley trying to play it ahead. It comes into the slot area and a shot scores. Morgan Riley coughed the puck up in the left wing corner, and Noah Hannafin has extended the lead, and it's 4-0, and it's gone from bad to worse in a big-time hurry.
And not only did Riley turn it over, Joe, but Mitch Marner falls down in trying to get to the loose puck before it got to the left point to Hannafin. Marner sort of started one direction and then tried to recover. But the Leafs 3 players in the corner to the left. And Hannafin walks in and just wrists it over the left shoulder of Anthony Stolarz.
8th goal of the season for Hannafin. And the Vegas Golden Knights have turned this one into a bit of a laugher.
The last time the Leafs were down 4-0.
Woof. You're going to have to do some research on that. Played back down into the Toronto zone. Played along the boards by Whitecloud into the far corner. Into the slot area. Picked off there by Yarncrook, and he's going to send it high into the center ice area. This is the makeup game to make up the game in hand that the Maple Leafs have on the Florida Panthers. And a loss would have them tied in points, but Florida would gain first place, at least at this point, because of regulation wins.
For the longest time, the Leafs had the lead in that category.
Yes, but
overtime wins against Pittsburgh, Boston.
The shootout. Played back into the Vegas zone and launched up on the wing, and the Golden Knights skated out at center with Pietrangelo getting it in on the right wing. He'll play it around the boards to the far side. Timmins unable to get to it. And around back of the goal, it is played up on the wing by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and then a long lead pass that Nylander tried to control with his skate but failed, and now here are the Golden Knights back in with a centering pass, and on a knee, failing to make contact with that as it comes out in the center ice area. Brought right back in over the line now by Howden. He works to the left wing boards. Got it back into the slot to the point for Korzak. To the other point, a shot blockered away by Stolarz is going to go up into the screen and out of play.
So 4 goals on 9 shots for Vegas here early in the second period. And even, he says, yeah, Marner just got turned around, didn't he? And then ended up falling, trying to get out. Does this go off Marner's stick, Joe?
It might have.
I mean, it elevated in a hurry. Up and over the left shoulder of Stolarz.
And the face-off not done correctly. They'll do it all over again.
Vegas has been dynamite at home this year. 22-6-3.
Yeah, they've struggled a little bit on the road, but their home record is just terrific. Bouncing puck in front of the goal, and it's backhanded wide of the Leaf net. Grabbed off there by McMahon, and he's going to launch it high through center ice that Robertson gets to. Robertson plays it down into the corner for Max Domi. Around back of the net to the near side. Cycled back into the corner, and Domi has it again. A centering pass, but no one in a white jersey there. And the Golden Knights are able to bring it right back down into the Toronto zone. Hurdle playing it in on a long shot that is gloved by Stolarz. And there'll be a face-off coming in the Toronto zone as an end result.
A couple games ago, Vegas had a bit of a shootout against the Chicago Blackhawks. 7-5 winners in that game. That was Ilya Samsonov. We mentioned Samsonov had back-to-back 5-goal games against.
Matthews will face off with Eichel. Draw one by Vegas. They slide it in too far for Eichel to handle. Eichel gets the puck again against Matthews. Plays it back to the point. Shot coming, and it's deflected wide. Comes off the inboards, but quickly taken to safety by the Maple Leafs. And Philip Myers gets it ahead for Nyes. Couldn't get in deep. Played to the line. Knocked down by the Leafs, kept alive on the right wing boards. Here's Marner working in with a pass in front for Nyes. And a real good save made by Aiden Hill off Matthew Nyes. That might have been the Leafs' best scoring chance right there. Down into Toronto territory. Cut off by Eichel. He trips his man in Matthews, but no call. And the Maple Leafs have it in their own zone. They'll play it off the boards and high into Vegas territory and get a change of players going. Alex Pietrangelo getting it ahead. Trying to get in over the line was Lavoie, and it'll be played down into the Toronto zone as a result. Vegas turning the puck over. Nylander didn't get it out. Now Riley trying to play it ahead. Had it blocked, but now grabbed off by Pontus Holmberg. He got a shot in on goal, and again, Hill makes a real good blocker save on an angle shot taken there by Pontus Holmberg. Leafs to the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson in for Tavares. He stretches it out to go back to Oliver Ekman-Larsson, trying to keep it in, and it's going to be poked out at center ice. And then we get a whistle from behind.
Now, who's got it? Hooking penalty coming up. Are the Leafs going to take this? Is it it's Tavares?
Toronto 91, minor penalty for hooking.
Well, so the Leafs turn it over at the blue line, and they're going to deem that John Tavares put the hook on the Vegas player. And again, they come back with a couple of opportunities. Yeah, I mean, it's into the hands, and somehow that forces the Vegas player to his knees.
Eichel gets the lone assist on the Hanifin goal. And they're 1 for 1 on the power play and have it on the attack again. And a wrist shot whistles over top of the net from Dorofiev. Now back to the point once more. Kept alive by Hanifin. Hanifin still with it. On the near side, Dorofiev with a pass. That was blocked. He gets it again. Sends it back to Hanifin. Wrist shot coming. And it's caught by Stolars. And he will stop play and bring a face-off in the Toronto zone.
Vegas has only given up 3 shorthanded goals on the season. How about the 4th coming up here to get him back into it? Now you got to remember the Leafs were down 4-0 to Carolina with 7 minutes to go on home ice, and Carolina scored 3 quick ones. So it can be done, but I think the disturbing part of this shows the number 1-on-1 battles they've lost on the boards, which included the battles that led to the 4th goal.
Lost the face-off there. Eichel in with a shot. Pad save made by Stolars. Puck along the boards. Nyes getting to it and got it to the line, but not out. Good play made there by Hanifin to keep it in. Leafs will try it again. This time they find open ice, and they send it down into the Vegas end. A lot of Leaf jerseys in the stands, we can see, but they have had very little to cheer about since the 3-second mark in the fight with Nyes. Nyes gets it again, this time off a glove. It's out at center. Matthews racing after it. Matthews is in alone. Oh, and a good pad save made by Hill. Well, there was your shorthanded opportunity, and a good save by Hill off of Austin Matthews.
Matthews had his only career shorthanded goal in the season. It came against Montreal. But remember, it was 4-on-4, and Montreal got a player back on the ice just as Matthews scored, so not your traditional shorthanded goal.
Brought in on the right wing side now by Lavoie. They'll drop it back to the point. Pietrangelo goes D to D on the left wing side, down low, trying to get it back into the slot. The Leafs steal it back, and Kemp is able to backhand it down the ice with 18 seconds left in the penalty. Goaltender played it ahead, but it is McCabe coming up with it and getting it out at center, and now Marner finds Benoit, and from the red line, he's just going to shoot it in. Yeah, the difference has been the goaltending. Aiden Hill has been terrific. He's faced 20 shots and not given up a goal. And unfortunately, Joseph Woll had struggles in the first period, and then at this point, Anthony Stolars, after making a breakaway save in the first period, I think on his first shot has probably only had 2 or 3 here and given up a goal as well. It is a 4-0 Vegas lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum! Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616.
Austin Matthews with a partial breakaway and a good save made by Hill to deny the Leafs captain a shorthanded goal. The tally as far as shots on goal now. Anthony Stolarz has faced 5 shots, given up the 1 goal. And it was 3 of 7 for Joseph Woll in the first period. 3 goals on 7 shots. Vegas get it to center. Lay it into the Leaf zone on the near boards. Grabbed off. High stick comes up there and clipped Tavares, it looked like. No call. Wrist shot from the blue line. Went wide of the Leaf goal. Tavares knocks his man down. The puck comes free. And it is brought out now by Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg to the line, laying it into the right wing corner for Tavares. He won't get there in time. And is pushed back out at center. And Vegas works it back in over the line. Polisar dropping it off on the boards. Nylander tried to poke it by him, but failed to do so. Then stole it back from him. And Nylander starts away at center and then runs out of real estate, but got the puck ahead. And it comes loose now, and it'll be Oliver Ekman-Larsson regrouping with Timmins. Pass intercepted, brought back in now by Vegas. 2-on-1 down low with a pass in front and in behind Stolarz. It's knocked along the goal line and saved by Connor Timmins. Robertson overskated the puck. Gets it back again, though. He works in on the right side, trying to go wide on Haig. Stops it up, can't get it back to the point. And Vegas will break it back into the neutral zone and into the Leaf end. A drop pass to the trailer, and a wrist shot is padded into the corner by Stolarz. The rebound knocked away by the Leaf goaltender as it comes to the point. Long shot by Hurdle is deflected into the corner as well. Back of the net now for McCabe. McCabe getting it ahead, but Benoit couldn't get it out for him. Vegas back into the offense again in the Toronto zone. Robertson can't get it away as it comes to the blue line. Domi is beaten by the defense as it comes in front. Good pad save made there by Stolarz as the puck comes back to the blue line. Pietrangelo to the left wing side. Good cycling done here by Vegas. They keep the puck alive and around back of the net. Near boards it comes to the point from Hanifin, and a long shot wide. Big rebound in front of the net. Domi can't get it. Eichel does. Eichel works back towards the blue line. Eichel still with it. Working into the slot area. He tried to get a return pass. Now he has it around back of the goal. Eichel doing another circle. Goes back to the far side. Centering pass. Blocked. Stolarz can't get it. And then a shot is stopped. And McCabe just trying to get it out to relieve the pressure, but they don't do it. Here's Vegas in again with a shot. And that's why the rebound comes out at center ice and down into Vegas territory. The Leafs won't get a wholesale change either. They'll get maybe one done. Centering pass knocked away. And Marner, who is that player, gets it out at center, and Matthews joins him. Played high into the Vegas zone. Played around the boards and now up on the right wing and cleared ahead by Mark Stone to the Leaf zone. Off the boards again. Chipped ahead. Nyes gets a pass on the left wing and shoots it in. Rubbed out on the boards then by Whitecloud. They go back into the corner after it. Nyes couldn't come up with it. Matthews unable to reach it. Whitecloud had to go off a skate, but it is the Knights who get it out on the right wing and shoot it into the Toronto zone, but it's going to be an icing with 10:13 to go. The shots are getting closer, 20-17. The score is not 4-0 Vegas.
And the Leafs really have not had any offensive zone time, have they? The best opportunity was shorthanded by Austin Matthews. Holmberg had that one chance coming off the wing off the rush. Connor Timmins saved the goal, but he was the one that turned the puck over at center. And he was lucky that he didn't bank it off Stolarz and back into the net.
Draw to the right of the Vegas goal. Tavares with Nylander and Holmberg, won by the Leafs. Back to the point it goes. Wrist shot is high and wide. Trapped by Oliver Ekman-Larsson at the left point. Now to Nylander. Nylander sends it towards the net, but it's off the mark wide. Rebound off the end boards is cleared by Vegas, and it'll go down into the Toronto zone. No icing. Reverse now for Ekman-Larsson. Up for Tavares. On the wing for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg goes wide, goes around back of the net. Still has it as he reaches the far boards, then lost it, and it's brought out at center ice now by Vegas. Left wing side trying to drive there was Howden. He has it back to the point in a drive. That was stopped by Stolarz, and the puck is still free in the zone. Nylander is able to bring it out. Nylander to the line and in. Matthews going to the front of the net. Nylander trying to play it back is tripped, and a penalty is going to come here, and it will go to Alex Pietrangelo, who will go to the penalty box, and the Leafs are going to go to the power play.
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. All right. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Bring home more from your in-car stations with the SiriusXM app. More than 200 streaming-only channels for every at-home activity. Music for kids, pets, even plants. Sounds for better sleep, breaking a sweat, and everything in between. Just search At Home to find it all with the SiriusXM app. At home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
We welcome Utah's Barrett Hayton. Does the P word come up? Do you look at the standings on a daily basis?
You look at the standings, you obviously know what other teams are doing, but at the same time, we know what we have to do. And we talked about it kind of before the break and using the break to kind of have a springboard to this last stretch, kind of be dialed in and feeling good right from the start and trying to build that momentum.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91 and the SiriusXM app. 24/7 hockey talk.
Pittsburgh is the weirdest situation. It's like the start of the year and you tried to pretend that, we're going to do a retool on the fly. No, you're not. They're terrible, but the attitude, nothing to look here, keep moving. Nope, Sid wants to play. They're terrible. Like Sidney Crosby's next game that matters is the Olympics. That could be the only time he plays again in a game that matters.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Leafs trail 4-0. Go to their second power play opportunity, brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. The Leafs will be in Colorado by Friday when the trade deadline is happening. Marner off a face-off win down low. Matthews centering and Nyes couldn't redirect it right on the doorstep. Nylander gets it back to the point. No one there. And it all the way back into the Toronto zone.
One thing when you're playing the point in the power play, you can't pass it to where you should be.
Marner up on the right side. Nylander slides in over the line, stops up, then slashes it around the boards to find Nyes. Back of the net now for Matthews, or for Tavares rather. Gets it back to the Nylander on the far half boards. Down low, back of the net for Matthews. Back to Nylander. Looking back towards the blue line. Gives it off to the captain. Here's Matthews with it again. Saucered back to Marner. Back to Matthews. Closing with a pass. And that was blocked. He's got to shoot the puck more often from over there. It's just a fact. And now a breakaway. Here's a chance for the Golden Knights. And it is Eichel who was robbed by Anthony Stolarz. Best chance on the power play is a breakaway going the wrong way. And it's going to be cleared to the line, but not out. Nylander's able to keep it in. Banked down into the corner. Tavares back of the goal. Tried to get it back to the blue line, but it's intercepted. And here are the Golden Knights back into the Leaf zone. Trying to get around Marner. Shot went off the goal post. Two great scoring chances shorthanded here against the Leafs 5 forwards on the power play.
And both those were just horrible giveaways.
Robertson to Domi. And across the line, second unit on the ice. Round on the boards for Riley. Riley trying to play it back, got it to Robertson. Robertson against the boards, had it hit a skate. Now on his backhand, trying to find room. Gets it back to the point. Morgan Riley walks the line. Still with it. Down into the half boards to Domi. Back it goes to Riley. Back to Max. Domi with a pass to the other side. Pass in front of the net. No one there to redirect. And now the Knights are going to get it airmailed high to center ice. Penalty expires. Leafs don't get a goal and almost give up 2. Drop pass now. Here's a chance. Lorenz trying to center. That was stopped by the goaltender Hill, and out come the Vegas Golden Knights to center. Brought in over the line by Dorofiev and into the corner. He stood up, but Hertl gets it back to the point, but he played it right between his 2 defensemen, and it's all the way back down into Vegas territory. Borzak got it up on the right wing. In across the line now for Hertl. Hertl into the slot, going to the net. That was stopped. The rebound comes to the near side. Pass in front. Big save made. And it trickles into the net. Stolarz is wondering why the whistle didn't go. But the puck squirted free. And it trickles into the goal. And we'll wait to see who's going to get credit for this one. But it was a bit of a scramble. But it is a 5-0 Vegas lead.
I think it was Tanner Pearson. Might have been the last one to touch it. You know, you hear the phrase continuous motion. Well, yeah, I mean, Stolarz, I think, to an extent, has a beef, but the way the puck ended up sliding through him, that's where you think it might. Boy, there. I mean, he's being speared right in the chest.
Yep.
When he's down.
Is there goaltender interference here? Oh, wow. Yeah, the puck's right underneath him, and he gets speared. I don't know if... No, but why not? You never know how this game might go. What have you got to lose here?
Is there a challenge?
Yeah.
Okay. And what this does, too, is it gives Craig Berube a chance to address his team. And this is a little bit similar to Paul Maurice going off in the Florida Panthers a couple of years ago.
Yeah, this is a one-sided conversation for sure. So they're looking at whether there was goaltender interference here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a tough one.
Keeps
the
spearing
puck's
the
under
puck.
him. Yeah, and he just keeps pitchforking Stolarz until eventually the puck goes through and into the net. And by the way, that's after Stolarz made a great stop on Pearson. Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, this.
But I'm not. I'm no longer going to guess what the call is going to be. But to me, Stolarz is down, face down on the crease. The puck's under him, and Pearson gets 2 or 3 spears into him before the puck goes through Stolarz into the net, and into the net.
So the officials are chatting with the boys here in Toronto. But now they've taken the headsets off, and it will be Wes McCauley making the emphatic move.
After reviewing the play, call on the ice is confirmed. No goaltender interference. We have a goal.
All right, that's why I didn't want to guess.
Toronto has a delay game penalty.
Wes McCauley, the Wes McCauley show has gone to Vegas.
Yes, it has. Wonderful playing the strip.
So, but here, now, Joe, this will be my point for the rest of the game. Aiden Hill covers the puck up. You get in there and you jam away at him. You know?
Well, yeah, what do you got to lose, right?
No, but I'm saying if this is the standard now, I mean, Stolarz moves. His upper body moves from the spear that jars it into the net. Like I said, if that's the standard, fine. But every time Aiden Hill has the puck, you get in there and you pitchfork him.
Well, it probably wasn't the time that you wanted to have a video review go your way, but that's the first time this season the Leafs have lost a video review. They're shorthanded here and down 5-0 now with 6 minutes to go in the second period. At the point, a shot goes whistling wide of the Leaf goal. Into the corner, Camp can't get free. It comes back to the point. Cleared along the boards and into the slot. Yarnbrook got a piece of the puck but couldn't get it out. Back along the far side. It is a big night at home for the Vegas Golden Knights. And not much for the Maple Leafs as it comes back to the point again. Near side, Dorofiev back to the blue line again for Hanifin. Now into the slot. A shot was blocked by Camp, but he can't clear it. Back it comes to Hanifin again on the right wing side. Dorofiev looking in front of the net. Back to the blue line once more. Hanifin will try the other side. Eichel with a shot. That's stopped by Wall. There's a rebound in front of the net. All the Leafs can do is clear it into the corner. Back to the point again. Good pressure here and a shot off of the goaltender's glove as Stolarz got his glove on it. But again, they don't clear. This has been a long siege. Here's Dorofiev. Back to the point again. Far side for Eichel and a shot. Hit the side of the goal. Finally rattled around the boards and down the ice by the Leaf defenders who've got to be absolutely gassed.
You know, all the things that you tried to pick as a positive in the first period, they've been gone here in the second. I mean, they've been out-muscled, outplayed. I mean, the shots are now 23-21 Vegas.
And across the line, Nicholas Roy played it into the corner. Now it's out and down the ice. The Leafs finally get rid of it, and that'll end the power play. But the damage has certainly been done.
I believe the shots 15-5 Vegas here in the second period. And that's what Craig Berube, I think, has the biggest issue with, Joe. Just once the goal went in early in the second, it was like everybody just stopped playing.
Stopped playing, yep. Yeah, there was a couple of expletives with "wake up" in the middle of them. 3:54 to go in the second period, and it is deflected down into the Vegas zone. 5-0 Golden Knights. If you're still with us, thank you.
Now, what about this? Leafs have given up going back to the game against San Jose. That's 7 straight against.
Brought in over the line by Matthews. He couldn't turn with it. And the Knights get it back in their own zone. Marner got a stick up around his face as it's played out at center ice. That was Kolasar. And now there's going to be a penalty as Matthews takes a high stick. And Kolasar, who got away with one in one end of the rink, gets tagged down in the Leaf zone. So it'll be a power play for Toronto, but the hill is an enormous one. It's 5-0 Vegas. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
You ready to go coast to coast? Thursday night. Why watch one game when you can watch them all? NHL Coast to Coast on Prime. Catch every pivotal moment every Thursday night live.
11 games are on tap. 4 Canadian teams in action. Brady Kachuk in the house.
It's time to go game to game, goal to goal, coast to coast.
Oh, come on. Let's go. Get your popcorn ready.
NHL Coast to Coast. Free preview Thursday night on NHL.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.ca/row. And while you're there, check out the latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed where work is performed. See website for details.
3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the second period. It has been all Vegas Golden Knights, and they lead it 5-0.
I know a lot of people are going to say here's the measuring stick game, but I think when you looked at the Leafs 3-0 win against Vegas earlier in the year, you didn't say, oh boy, we got them.
Yeah.
We're better. But, you know, the Leafs have been trending in this direction, right? You go back to the Harry Neal line. Coming out of a winning streak, to win a couple you shouldn't have. Maybe that was Pittsburgh.
Here's Robertson down low. Second unit starts the power play. Riley to Domi, and a shot is gloved by Aiden Hill. And he'll stop play and throw the puck into the face-off circle.
We'll make the shots 14-6 here. And the thing is with Colorado, I mean, there's a lot of firepower there, too, where if you get back on your heels and if you don't skate, you don't compete, you can get a very similar score.
Point shot, deflects wide of the goal. McMahon could come up with it, but gets it back to the blue line. Riley walks the line, still with it at the point in the middle of the ice on the left wing for Domi. He sends it back to Riley on the far side for Oliel. Back to the point it comes to Riley. Again to Domi. Wrist shot this time. Came up and hit Eichel in the face. He is kind of wandering around a bit. Shot from an angle there was deflected into the corner. Leafs after it again. McMahon can't come up with it. Robertson does. Back to the blue line to Riley once more. Another shot deflects wide. Back of the net. Leafs unable to get it cleared, and then backhanded by Pietrangelo high and out and down the ice. And Eichel will go off maybe for a few repairs. Now in the left wing for Marner, but they're going to call it offside. Nylander breaking in on the right wing.
You know, one thing about Jack Eichel, I think a lot of people were not sold on his abilities, his talents, as he struggled to really find the superstar status in Buffalo. But boy, has he produced for Vegas. Taking one off, it was Max Domi fired it, went off Eichel's own stick and then ramped right up into his eye area. It came up under the visor and caught him.
That was very close. Leafs across the line. Nylander unable to control the puck, but carries into the corner, comes out into the slot, and a shot, stop, scores! Matthews jams it home, and there will at least be no shutout tonight for Aiden Hill, as Austin Matthews gets on the board with a power play goal.
For Matthews, that's only his 6th power play goal of the season, 23rd overall. He still trails Nylander, Tavares, and Matthew Nyes in that category. But Matthews getting the pass from John Tavares, takes it. And that first shot was actually blocked and fluttered into Aiden Hill, and that produced a rebound off the left pad, and Matthews followed up the shot and put the rebound home. 5-1 Vegas here late in the second. Wouldn't it be nice to bang in another one, at least
make something interesting here?
Yeah, see a silver lining in a very dark cloud.
Second period brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it. He's get it down into the offensive zone. Kicked into the corner. Now Yarncrook down along the boards for Camp. Back to Pally Yarncrook. He works along the wall. Cycles it back for Camp. Camp runs out of real estate, being tied up there by Brett Howden, and he'll get it back to the net where Hannafin spins it around the boards, but the Leafs pinch in and are able to come out with it. Here's Camp trying to get a rolling puck to behave, and it doesn't, and it comes out at center, and now Benoit will send it right back in again as the Leafs are changing. Laid out at center ice and down on the right wing. Trying to get free is Kolesar. Oliver Ekman-Larsson overskated the puck. It comes into the slot. Nyes getting it ahead for Matthews. All he could do is just chip it to the red line. Minute to go here in the second period. 5-1. Vegas shot down into the Toronto zone. Along the boards, grabbed off there by Nyes. He'll bring it through center. Nyes with a diagonal shoot-in that goes around back of the net. He's the first to get to it. Marner against the boards trying to get away from Hurdle. Now got it into the slot. Here's Matthews at the point with a shot. That's blocked. And then Nyes, instead of shooting the puck, tried to deflect it so he got a better angle. And I think if he'd let it go right then, he might have been in business. How he gets a shot away that...
I think what he was trying to do, Joe, was Morgan Riley was coming down, and as soon as Nyes went to tip it to him, Riley had turned and gone back to the left point.
So Austin Matthews gets the Leafs on the board. And as Jimmy mentioned, it is his 23rd goal of the season and just his 6th on the power play. And Tavares and Nylander draw the assists on the goal.
It's actually a point streak for Matthews now at 11 games, but only 3 goals. And one of those 3 goals was an empty netter against Carolina.
Goal came at 18:01, and this goes up into the screen and out of play with 22.3 seconds left to play in the period.
They used to have had a lot of multi-goal periods against of late, haven't they? You know, two in the first against Boston. You give up 3 in the first against Pittsburgh.
Draw 1 by Vegas.
3 in the first tonight. 2 in the third against San Jose.
Pass up on the left wing. Gains the Toronto zone. Into the corner. Myers got a piece of his man. The puck goes around back of the net. And it will be Riley getting it up on the boards and playing it high into neutral ice, and time will run out. Leafs get on the board. That's the good news. The bad news is they gave up 3 in the first and 2 more in the second before they did. And after 40 minutes of play, it's Vegas 5 and the Maple Leafs 1.
And, you know, as much as we tried to say, well, they outshot them in the first and Wall had a tough time, gave up some tough goals. This period, this response, I think is what had Craig Berube barking at the Leafs during the video review of the 5th Vegas goal. There's got to be more pushback than that. We saw Carolina down 4-0 after the first in Toronto. They hung around, made it close late. See if the Leafs have any kind of pushback in Vegas tonight.
15-9, they are outshot, the Leafs are, in the second period. And they're outscored 2-1 in that period after the 3-0 first period whitewashing. So we will step aside. Anthony Stewart is along with Jim Taddy. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Baseball season's almost here, and MLB Network Radio will get you ready for opening day with a tour of spring training. Hear team previews of all 30 teams as our experts talk with players, managers, and executives shaping the 2025 season. How does your team look? Our team will break it all down. MLB Network Radio.
What's up, football fans? How we doing tonight during the Super Bowl? Thanks for hanging out with us and spending it here with us on Toronto Sports Insider as we celebrate the Sick Kids Hospital Football Frenzy finale here on TSI. We have raised over $1,000 for Sick Kids Hospital already, and you can actually donate right now if you hit that link that is pinned in the chat or in the description. And donate if you're able. If not, please share that link out as well. Give it a good social media share and help it get out. And that will probably bring more donations in. Thank you all. Go. Whichever team you're cheering for, go. I'm going for the Eagles. Let's go, Philadelphia. All right, Miss V, thank you so much, Veronica D, for sending that video. Camera's over there, Mike. I was distracted by baby cat. Anyways, we got one back, Leafs fans. We got one back. God, it's late. I need to switch to another coffee over here. Holy cow. 5-1. Matthews gets one back. How we feeling? I'm not feeling super excited right now. I'm just not. It's been a long day. I'm tired. And I feel like a bunch of you probably are as well. But we're going to fire up this chat, and hopefully the Leafs will get a goal here quick in the third period so that we can party on late until the evening as we have passed midnight Eastern Standard Time. Big shout out to Ryan for the super chat, $2, as well as new member tonight, Ryan. Ryan, SOP, original OG over there on SOP. And great to see a few other new faces and old faces back in the chat. Grinch, how you doing, Grinch? Good to see you. There you go. Brian Burns as well. I love college football, not the NFL. CFL is better. I agree. I love the CFL games, Brian. And we do every single Toronto Argonauts game live right here. All right, I've got to get back to utilizing this time to get ready for our March Madness bracket mania campaign. We'll let the intermission stuff run. Hopefully by next commercial I'll have the other pictures. I'm going to start popping up pictures across from Miss V in the stands tonight live from Las Vegas, cheering on our Leafs. And big shout out to Miss V for going out there to that arena and spending however much money that she's spending tonight on tickets and parking, or however you do it in Vegas, for the Leafs to lay an egg like they have tonight. Ms. V, thanks for sending the pictures over and the videos over. Much appreciated. I'll put them up now. Go Leafs go. Big third period.
Doing. It's just the Vegas Golden Knights were essentially putting on a clinic the whole entire period, just bigger, faster, stronger. But again, this is the Toronto Maple Leafs where you've seen these appearances few and far between. They just seem discombobulated. 17 seconds into the period, Noah Hannafin comes right down and rips it top shelf with both defensemen standing in the corner. So it was not a systems-oriented period, but they did find a way to rebound on the power play goal. They started the second unit, and that sort of now jumped that first unit into gear with Austin Matthews now points in 11 straight. So if there's anything they can sort of hang their hat on, saying, hey, you know what, they did find a way to beat Aiden Hill, who seemed unstoppable that first two periods. So something to build on going into the third period. They need to find a way just to sort of simplify it, but just weather the storm and help their goaltenders out, who they just seem to be letting out to dry through 40 minutes.
The Hannafin goal 17 seconds in really takes, I don't know if there was any wind left in the sail, but if there was, it ripped the hole right through the sail. And as I'm watching him score, I'm thinking to myself, there's another guy that Vegas got that nobody thought they could fit under the cap, and somehow they did, and he's a mainstay back there. That's just an impressive roster, isn't it?
Yeah, and Shea Theodore's still not on this roster, right? He's got injured, obviously, at the Four Nations, and that's a guy, when he steps in, that just solidifies already a great blue line. And I think they still have cap space to add something at the deadline, believe that or not. So, again, it's a very formidable team. They play the game the right way. They just skate. It's the perfect blend of skill, speed, and size. And Toronto doesn't seem to have an answer through 40 minutes. So I'll chalk it up to travel. I'll chalk it up to a compressed schedule in the last 2 weeks or so since coming back from the break. But again, there is no excuses. But right now there's some questions with regards to the goaltending, as some of the goals have been a little bit leaky. They haven't been doing them any favors, but Stolarz, I think, has rebounded and found a way to sort of weather the storm.
Well, if you put this game in with the one in Pittsburgh, all of a sudden the defensive record's not so good, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. I think the averages are going down a little bit, and they're probably going to drop a couple spots with regards to where they are in the defensive end of the pucks. And they were the top team this year in breakaways, letting the least amount of breakaways against. And I'm sure that's gone out the window, where I think they've let in 5 breakaways through 40 minutes. So I think they just need to find a way to find some commonalities or find something to hang their hat on going towards their next game here, because they just seem flat. That's the best way to sum it up. And I'm out of adjectives, so I'll say their play through 40 minutes is the anti-treats.
Yeah. I was just looking up their cap space. Vegas has 2.4 left in cap space. So that you could add, $2.4 million. $2.4 million. Yeah.
Okay. $2.4.
$2.4. That's the Leafs cap. Yeah. Cup of coffee, no extras. So I mean, what do you do with this? The third period, I guess you're leaving town anyway, so you might as well go out with a blast.
Yeah, put 50 on black while you're on your way out the door. But again, you heard Berube sort of barking at them, in between shifts there too. So again, for him, win, lose, or draw, you need to have a better effort. You need to compete. You need to compete at both ends of the puck. Play a 200-foot game, and just through 40 minutes, it's just not there. So again, for them, for this final 20, you need a moral victory. Show that you're going to show up for the goaltenders. Play a good two-way game, but let's stop the bleeding. But have a little bit of better effort, especially on the offensive end of the puck.
Well, the other thing you could do is look at, get different looks out there. Obviously the game's sort of out of control, and probably from the 10-minute point on in the third period, if it's still 5-1, you could just shuffle everybody around, get a different look.
Yeah, give some guys an opportunity, move some guys up and down, and you saw Berube start the second unit for the that one power play that they did have in that period, right? So for me, I'm looking at guys like Durant's, who only's got 5:41 through 40. I'd like to see maybe Connor Timmins get some more minutes. Same thing with Philip Myers. Show what those guys can do. And again, you see OEL at 14.5. So maybe giving some guys an opportunity to show what they could do with an expanded, ice time load. But again, you're going to need everybody going into this final quarter of the season. It's not going to be one line. It's not going to be two pairings. It's not going to be one goaltender. You need a group effort, and it's just not there tonight in Vegas.
So I guess we've seen nothing to change your mind about Vegas. They look pretty good.
We've seen a nothing burger, but an everything burger with extra cheese from Vegas.
That's right,
but Vegas
buffet burger.
They are a juggernaut, and I know that word has been overused in Toronto many, many times, but they are a juggernaut. And I didn't know Colasar was that good. Like, look how big and strong he is. He just outmuscled Nylander, threw him off the puck, and Howden and Hurdle, and all these. Like, there's guys that I didn't hear about from 4 or 5 years ago, looking like stars out there. So again, it's not the best effort from Toronto. They're making them look a little good, but anyway you dice it, this Vegas team is a Stanley Cup contending team, 110%.
Stu, thanks very much. Appreciate it. 5-1 Vegas over the Leafs after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew.
Once again, a huge shout out to Miss V Veronica D in the stands. Thank you for sending over these awesome pictures of the game tonight, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. So cool. This is a dream come true for me, to be able to share fans' experiences on the road cheering for Toronto sports teams. I have been in the supporters section with TFC multiple times on the road. It's a lot of fun, and growing up in Florida and going to a lot of Leafs games in the Panthers arena and the Lightning arena, yeah, I'm used to hanging out in a atmosphere that's not friendly. So fans on the road, we appreciate it. Their Klomp as well. I saw you there in the chat. Let me know, buddy, about that game in the Detroit Red Wings game, because we're going to be doing every single game of the NHL playoffs come April 17th. And of course, those Leafs games when we're in those playoffs, hopefully, knock on wood, not going to jinx anything. Hey, big shout out, Brian Burns. Welcome to Insider. Welcome to the 4th new member of the night. Thank you for being a member and helping support this amazing community as well. Getting those freaking emojis, they're pretty cool. All right, let's get back to the hockey. Big third period ahead. Come on, buds. At least get a couple goals. Let's make this interesting. We'll see you guys and gals back in the chat. Go, Leafs, go. Come on, should we get the chant going here? Go, Leafs, go. Go, Leafs, go. Hey, Carmen there. TSI Mike, cheers on your dreams. Cheers, Carmen. Thank you. It's so fun. And everybody can do it. It's just got to be, you got to build it around your passion. And it has to be your dream. This is my dream. It's all about what I wanted to do with my life was this, exactly this. So, here we are. Cheers, everybody. Go chase your dream. I promise it won't be easy. You're not just going to get there overnight. Look at everybody there. Ryan can tell you those nights on SOP at this time between the Seattle Sounders and the Portland Timbers at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, falling asleep, chugging Monster Energy drinks. I kept doing it because of nights like this. This is what I knew would be here. And Veronica sending these photos over, it just cements everything. Go, Leafs, go. There's the chance going. I love it. There's Steven Burns. Go, Knights, go. All right, come on. Enjoy yourself. There, you got a 5-1 victory. You don't have to come in here to the Toronto chat and go, hey, we will go Knights. But hey, we love the trash talk. Good luck to your Knights the rest of the season. Looks like they might get 2 points tonight. All right, back to the hockey. Enough of me yakking.
Plus guitars, lots of guitars. Oh, and the original MTV VJs.
Mark Goodman, Nita Blackwood, and myself, Alan Hunter.
If it was big in the 80s, it's on 80s on 8. And listen at home on Alexa, Google Home, smart TVs, and everywhere on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Feel the excitement of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. Europe's best clubs.
What a start for Inter! And Barca are level! Brilliant Arsenal goal!
The world's brightest stars.
Mbappe! Kane! Salah to score!
All chasing club soccer's ultimate prize.
A new page in their glorious history.
The Champions League knockout stage, where legends are made. On Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite team. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Teams are coming back onto the ice as the Maple Leafs trail the Vegas Golden Knights by a 5-1 count. Matthews scoring the lone goal, but not until the Golden Knights had scored 5. We're still discussing the goal that was counted that we don't believe should have.
Well, and just to try to get an understanding of what Wes McCauley saw, so we can go to Rule 69.7, rebounds and loose pucks. In a rebound situation, or where a goalkeeper and attacking player are simultaneously attempting to play a loose puck, whether inside the crease or out, incidental contact with a goaltender will be permitted, and any goal is scored as a result thereof will be allowed.
So that's what was adjudicated in Toronto. McCauley just, he was the...
I mean, they were looking at it.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that's what it is, because it was a loose puck rebound. But I think the argument was it loose?
Yeah, it was underneath.
It was underneath him, and it was
Stolarz, and he got pitchforked.
Anyway, like
into
you
the
said,
net, Yep.
It's better to, obviously with a score 4-0, Craig Berube had nothing to lose. with a challenge. But it was it gave him plenty of opportunity because the score of that made it 5-0. Plenty of opportunities during that delay to scream at his team on the bench, and I think that was the disappointing part. Was there were some decent things to come out of the first period, and in the second period, instead of Vegas sitting back and the Leafs attacking, it was the other way around. You would have thought Vegas was down 3-0 after the first.
Leafs to the left and the Golden Knights to the right. As Jake McCabe had trouble getting it out. Long shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. Kept in at the far point by Whitecloud. Sent into the corner. Trying to center it was Pearson. It goes back of the net. Now out for Pearson. Back to the point. D to D. Hanifin to Whitecloud. Back to Hanifin. Hanifin gets it into the slot. Got a return pass that Benoit was able to chip into the corner but not find anybody. Another good stretch down in the Toronto zone here by Vegas. And now here's Eichel trying to center in front. Shot went just wide, and the Leafs finally come away with it. And it's brought out at center ice as Nylander tries to play it down into the offensive zone.
Nylander back with Nyes and Austin Matthews here to start the third.
And we get an icing call here against Vegas, which will be brought back into the Golden Knights zone.
They do take 3 out of 4 points from Pittsburgh and the San Jose Sharks, but you would say barely in both those. Did not generate a lot of offense, but still got a win in New York. Comeback win after being down 3-0 in Boston. They've been teetering on this, haven't they?
Yeah. New York's one of the hottest teams in the league at this particular point, too. They played pretty well.
Who, the Rangers?
Yes.
Yeah, well, been better. But, I mean, coming out of the break, they got hammered. Remember, Shesterkin gave up 5 in the first period in Buffalo.
Played around back of the net, left wing side for Barbashev. He'll work down the left wing boards. Got to the line, ran into a traffic jam. And Tavares plays it back up on the wing, and now push finds Marner. Left wing side, Riley. Back for Marner. Marner circles into the far half boards. Looks for a man in front. And the pass was intercepted, but Marner steals it back. Trying to work in front for Tavares. Rolled it off a stick, and it goes along the near boards. And Vegas will get it out off a stick and down into the Toronto end. And an icing call is going to be made here. That'll be brought back into the Vegas Golden Knights zone.
All right, so Nyes with Matthews and Nylander. And now McMahon has moved up to play with Marner and John Tavares. It'll be interesting to see what kind of pushback there is here in the third period.
Well, it's also going to be awfully interesting to see what Brad Treliving does between now and Friday.
Do the moves by Florida and Tampa. Create more urgency in doing something.
Yep. Played back to the point for Timmins. His shot is not reaching the net. Another shot stopped by Hill and deflected wide. Leafs trying to come up with it in the corner. And Lorenz can't keep it in as it comes to center ice. Leafs back at their own zone. Connor Timmins starting back up with it. Got it ahead at center. Backhanded by Domi into the zone. Leafs into the forecheck. Domi with a pretty good hit. But the puck comes free. And it's brought out at center ice by Thomas Hertl. He gets across the line, goes to the front of the net as the pass comes back. Braden McNabb couldn't get it into the slot area. Played around the boards. It'll be trapped on the far side by Dorofiev. Dorofiev works down around back of the Toronto goal. Forced wide again then by McCabe. Comes back along the boards and into the corner. Intercepted finally then by Lorenz and launched off a glove down into Vegas territory. Both teams are getting a change in. We're 2.5 minutes into the third period. 5-1 Vegas. Played back into the Toronto zone. Round back in the net for Morgan Riley. Up on the right wing side. Lorenz got it ahead. Robertson or Nylander in across. Or no, it is Robertson in across the line. Couldn't come up with it. And back comes Vegas now on the right wing side, and it'll be played down into the Toronto end. Lorenz plays it around the boards. Lorenz with Robertson and Camp at the point. Shot in traffic. Stopped there by Stolars, kept alive by Vegas to the point again. Hannafin gets it to his defense partner. It's stolen, but coming off the bench in the middle of a change was the Vegas forward, Brandon Saad, to prevent what might have been a breakaway. Nylander back in his own zone, cuts in front of his own goal, got it up for Matthews. Matthews working through center ice, gives it back to Nylander. He cuts back towards the Toronto zone. They're going to regroup the puck, and Timmins will find Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back to Timmins. It's shot in. Matthews into the forecheck. Tied up back of the net with Haig. Puck goes into an open corner, and Eichel is there. And Jack Eichel starts back the other way. Eichel to the line. Had it poked off his stick, but the Golden Knights recover. Send a long shoot in that was stopped by Stolars, and the Leafs clear it to center ice. Pietrangelo backpedaling in his own end. Vegas 5, the Leafs 1. Haig got it ahead, broken up at the blue line, chipped in over the line now by McMahon. He couldn't one-hand it in front of the net, trying to find Marner. Now wraparound attempt here, goes up on the right wing board, stolen by McMahon. A centering pass for Tavares, trying to get his stick free. Did, and then when he did, it slid harmlessly. What a centering pass! And McMahon couldn't get his stick on it, as a couple of good in-tight plays made there by the Leafs. Looked like some decent scoring chances, but they never really did get a clear open shot. Vegas backpedals into their own end.
Both times it was Mitch Marner below the goal line that was able to look out front and try to find a man.
Pass off a stick, brought into the Toronto zone. Hurdle trying to get it back to the point. McNabb with a shot that deflected wide. Back to the point. Whitecloud keeps it alive. Down the boards, pinching is McNabb. Comes to the line. Backed up nicely on the pinch there by Tanner Pearson. And then a shot is deflected into the corner by Stolars. Leafs get it out, but it's going to be the length of the ice. And an icing call coming here against Toronto.
Now you could not be too heavy on the excuse of the travel and the schedule. But certainly, I think you looked at this at the start of the year and you said, okay, that's great that they've got the 2 weeks off, for the majority of players have the 2 weeks off for the Four Nations tournament. But this was going to be a tough stretch. And I don't know whether the Leafs have kind of been running on fumes here. But like I said, you got to be careful. Go tell Los Angeles or even Calgary the road trip they're on right now. They've been away for 2 weeks.
But they have really had a wealth of road games in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and that's just catch up.
Yep.
Obviously, you know what the first half was.
And an offside at the Toronto blue line will stop play.
Like I said, I'm not going heavy on the excuse of travel because everybody goes through it. But I think sometimes this is the result of that. So what are we at now? This is the 30th road game of the season. They've played 32 at home, 30 on the road. So by the time they get back,
things will have evened up. Yep.
So they still have the California trip coming up before the end of the season.
Yep, that's in the near future. Launched high into the Vegas end. Camp couldn't come up with it. Timmins pitches down to get it back to the net. Camp looking in front of the net for Robertson, but he took so long to find him that by the time he did, Robertson was pretty much covered. Back of the net, Lorenz into the far corner. Lorenz tries to poke it back, loses his stick. Robertson sends a shot towards the net that Hill directed wide. Camp gets it back to the point. Ekman-Larsson's shot is into the chest of Aiden Hill, and he will stop play and bring a face-off in the Vegas end. A timeout, and it is 5-1 Vegas. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The best golfers in the world are returning to the Stadium Course for the Players' Championship. And you can hear all the action on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio.
Racing towards the flag. This is a good-looking shot. He made it! Rory McIlroy!
All All next week, we have coverage from TPC Sawgrass with analysis and player interviews and play-by-play coverage starting Thursday the 13th at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Yes! The Eagle lands from the bunker! Scheffler!
Hear the Players' Championship, Channel 92, and on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs game. Now that we've got your attention, Tom has something to say.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for some notifications for all the streams that we have on TSI.
You know it. If it's a Toronto sports game, we're live. The Maple Leafs, the Raptors, the Argos, TFC, Blue Jays all summer long. Thank you so much for becoming an insider and hitting that subscribe button. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go!
That was a hell of an idea. Cameron Moore and Malcolm Daly will now be doing play-by-play in color, and we'll get in the car and head home. And there isn't a post-game show, so Taddy and Stewart, they bailed on us too.
Oh, you call Stewie, I'll call Taddy on the way home.
At the point, Riley with a shot that didn't make it through. Nylander off the puck in the far boards, back to the point. Myers' shot, that deflected in front of the net but didn't get through. There was a big crowd of Vegas players in front of the goal. Leafs to center, a pass goes off the skate of Matthews into the near corner. Around on the boards for Nyes, dropped it back to the point. It'll come to Myers. His shot off the glove and into the glove of Hill. He's played very well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He hasn't given that goal up that would get the Leafs excited about getting back into this game. But I think Aiden Hill, the way he reacted to the shot from Philip Myers, it was as if, are you kidding me? You shot the puck that hard?
Yes.
Probably fires it as hard as any Leaf defenseman from the point. But Aiden Hill was kind of looking at it like, are you kidding me?
Well, Myers got it away, and Hill made the save as it was caught with his left hand. 13 minutes to play in the third period. 5-1 Vegas.
Leafs are actually out shooting the Golden Knights now 28-24.
And they get it back to the point. McCabe sends it down into the corner, but it hit a body and is flipped out and down the ice by Vegas, and it will be Benoit back at the Toronto goal. Got it up on the left wing. McCabe with a long pass in for Marner, but it ended up going right to the goaltender, and Hill just stops play.
Now, how come it's not Las Vegas Golden Knight?
Not enough room on the jersey.
No, man. Remember, it used to be the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
Now it's the Tampa Rays.
Tampa Rays. There wasn't enough room on the jersey.
Well, there was at one time.
Well, I know, but things changed. The font changed. Bigger font. I'm big on this, Mr. Ruff. I know a lot. Played back to the blue line. Although Toronto Maple Leafs takes up a great deal of room on the...
What about the Bay Packers?
Oh, yeah, those guys. Here's Tavares getting it into the zone. Back to the point of the left wing side for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He gets it off on the right side. Timmins let a shot go. That was blocked. It comes in front of the net again. Tavares had a glorious chance and missed the net. Played back into the slot for Marner. His shot in traffic is blocked. Pushed out at center ice. Leafs are pressing again as Marner gets it off on the left wing, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson couldn't get it into the zone. Domi, fresh off the bench, regroups the puck back in the Toronto end. Yeah, it was the Las Vegas Golden Knights, wasn't it? Isn't that how it initially was put up? On back of the net, a centering pass in the Leaf zone was broken up, but it comes to the point. McNabb steps in with a shot. That deflected and just went wide, and Domi starts up on the wing with an alley-oop pass trying to find Yarncrook, but it was well out of his reach. Now Yarncrook forechecking as it comes back to the point. Gets a return pass along the boards for Domi. Domi trying to feather it in front of the net. Pontus Holmberg couldn't get his stick on the puck to get a shot. And Vegas has it back of the goal. Or if you like, Las Vegas has it back of the goal.
You know, it's always been Vegas that said come in.
But it is Las Vegas that they play in. Could be Nevada.
Well, a lot of names are changing down there.
Yes. Here's Matthews for Nylander. Can't get a shot away, and when he did, it went off a leg and went wide, and now it's caromed off a stick and come to center ice. Right back into the Vegas zone it goes with 10:37 to go in the third. A better period for the Maple Leafs, but they've not been rewarded. And they had a good period in the first period, but it blew up in their face. So I heard the second period is what was the damaging one as well. Here the Knights getting it back to the point. Hanifin with a shot that Stolarz blocked. It comes back to the point. White Cloud over to Hanifin again. Hanifin shot in traffic, deflected wide. That may have caromed off the goalpost after a save made there by Stolarz. 3 Leafs against the boards trying to flip it out, but they won't get it out. Hanifin on the far side, shot partially blocked. And Nyes gets it out. And now here's Robertson in. Trying to go wide. Got a shot away and set it high over top of the net. And it caroms off the dasher board and goes out of play. So it is 5-1 Vegas. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew! Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Deep breath, piano pickup, hockey drop-off. Ooh, did you remember the Farm Boy cupcakes for afterwards? And dinner.
We got this. Voila delivered our groceries this morning. Cupcakes are in the back seat.
Got 'em.
And I got some ready-made pulled pork and Longo's fresh buns for dinner.
Ooh.
Plus, some compliments hot chocolate. A little reward for surviving tonight.
You're on a roll, honey.
Voila delivers fresh groceries from Sobeys, Farm Boy, and Longo's at the same prices in-store with no hidden fees. Voila, your groceries delivered just like that.
Not a good night for the Maple Leafs as they trail 5-1 to the Vegas Golden Knights.
Trailing by 4.
And in fairness, there haven't been many of these this year.
No, I went back and looked when they've lost by 4 goals in a game, and I think that is the season high. Not going through the entire schedule, but early on they lost by 4 at home to Columbus, but then lost 5-1 in St. Louis in back-to-back games.
Tavares waved out of the face-off circle. Marner will move in.
For the 2 days off before playing Colorado on Saturday will be welcomed.
I wonder if the plan was to stay in Vegas for another night, or whether that travel plan has changed. Tavares getting the puck out into the center ice area. Ekman-Larsson got it ahead, but Bobby McMahon couldn't handle the puck. And it comes back out at center, and Ekman-Larsson frees it up for Marner. Mitch Marner dropping back in his own end. 9:16 to play here in the third period. There's been no scoring in the third stanza. 3-0 Vegas in the first period. They pushed it to 5-0 before Austin Matthews scored. And that is where we stand. Played back down into Vegas territory. Nylander got tangled up and taken down as the puck comes back to the Toronto blue line. Jake McCabe plays it ahead for Matthews with Nylander across the line. Fed to the left wing side for Nyes. Took a shot, and that was well wide, and it caroms and comes all the way down into the Toronto zone. Stolarz out of the goal. Does a nice little head fake there to free the puck up, and McCabe got it back into the center ice area. Racing down the left wing was Domi. Couldn't come up with it. Off a stick, and the Vegas Golden Knights will get it free, and now they'll be able to kind of stretch things out in their own end as both teams are trying to get a change going. Brought to the line, not in. But Vegas has to wait for teammates to get onside. McNabb back in his own zone, gets it through center and fired deep into Toronto territory. Down the boards is Riley. Riley against the wall, got it away from one, and now Myers will get it to center and down into Vegas territory. If you've not been to the rink in Vegas, it's right on the strip, not very far away from everything else. New baseball stadium. From not having anything in the way of professional sports other than the gambling, now that everything is hokey dokey and just fine as far as gambling is concerned on sports, they've got everything going. The Raiders arrive. Athletics are soon to be there.
Yep, those 5 magic words started it all.
Pete
What?
Rose?
No, what? We can make money?
Yes. You mean with all of this, we can make money on advertising, even if we kind of frown on our players gambling? Here's Howden gets in with a shot, blocked. It comes back along the boards. Pietrangelo couldn't keep it in. Leafs will get it up on the right side, and Myers will play it off on the left wing side. Intercepted there. Pietrangelo gets it back out into neutral ice. Stolen by Marner, in, scores! Oh, bad pass. And Mitch Marner was right there to intercept. And Pietrangelo has his pocket picked, and Mitch Marner makes it 5-2.
Yeah, this is going to be an unassisted goal with 6:33 to go. But yeah, no, it was actually Pietrangelo. Joe threw it up the boards. And then it was the Vegas forward, number 49, Ivan Barbashev.
It was Barbashev, you're right.
Watching that on the replay, and then Barbashev sort of turned with it. Marner picked it off him and then skated for the high slot and beat Aiden Hill blocker side.
19th of the season for Mitch Marner.
And this is one of those, we saw that, a similar game with the Leafs against Carolina, and that you're just trying to ease the game home. And I'm sure Bruce Cassidy isn't going to be overly critical. The shots on goal are just, are they 6-1 now for the Leafs here in the third period? So there hasn't been much offense from the Vegas Golden Knights, obviously, at this point. But like I said, you're in a position where you take a 5-1 lead into the third period. You're not going to take any unnecessary chances. Defensemen aren't going to pinch. You're not going to leave the zone early to create opportunities off the rush. It's all about sitting back and trying to shut down the opposition. And let's face it, Vegas has done a good job of that here in the third period.
Marner one away from a 20-goal season. 7th time he's reached that plateau. His career high, 35 in the 21-22 season when he finished with 97 points. Vegas getting the puck up the boards. It's going to go the length of the ice. And an icing ball coming here with 5:57 left to play.
A lot of times what coaches will say in this situation is win a period. Just go out, win a period. That's not going to help you in the standings, and that's not going to take away what Craig Berube saw in the first 40 minutes, but the Leafs are, in fact, winning the period here. 5-2 Vegas, though, 5:57 to go.
13:27 the time of the goal for Mitch Marner, who steals the puck from Barbashev. Now Tavares gets it back to the blue line. Leafs trying to keep it in, but it is pushed out at center ice. And now Vegas gets it in on the right wing, trying to work down as Roy, who'll play it into the corner. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it ahead at center. Played back for Marner. Marner splits the defense. He's in alone, and he shot it off the shoulder of Hill into the corner. Great rush there by Mitch Marner. Vegas punches it out at center. Brought in over the line. Stone tries to get it to Eichel. A centering pass didn't work. Played around back of the net. Cut off quickly by Brandon Saad. Stolen back by the Leafs and played off the boards and down into Vegas territory, but no icing. 4:57 left to play. 5-2 the score after the Leafs spotted the Golden Knights a 5-0 lead. They've scored the last 2 goals. Knights sent it down in around back of the Toronto goal. Pinching in along his Hurdle. Got it back to the point. Long shot. Blocked. Didn't make it through. Hurdle with it again. On the near side for Gorofiev. He couldn't make a pass into the corner. Centering feed intercepted by Domi. And now Calle Yarncrook gets to center and can't get it in over the line to his intended receiver. And now a long shot taken there is blocked by goaltender Stolarz. The Leafs play it through center ice. 4:08 left in the third. Vegas will get it to the Leaf zone. Timmins trying to play it back up into neutral ice. Had it taken away. Circles back. Now sends an alley-oop pass through center ice that Nyes couldn't get to. Matthews does. He's in across the line. Over on the right side. And Nylander's one-timer went wide of the goal. Just keeping it in was Timmins, but now he's got a 2-on-1 to defend. Pass on the right side, and that was deflected wide. Stolarz didn't have to make a save. Nylander and Nyes. And something going on behind the scenes that we can't see, and now we do, as the cameras have gotten to it. And it is Brett Howden and Oliver Ekman-Larsson in a bit of a hug.
Well, I don't know what Keegan Colasar with Howden and Ekman-Larsson both rolling on the ice. Colasar grabs Ekman-Larsson's jersey. Just a little idiotic, but a great individual rush by Mitch Marner. That's one of those that might have made the highlight reel by the end of the year. Nobody would have known how bad the game was.
Yeah. Exactly. It is 5-2 Vegas. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Team Canada's John Cooper. Was the moment the red light went on better than you ever could have imagined?
I don't even think I could have dreamt that one up. From Mario Lemieux all the way to the Jordan Binnington moment to the Connor McDavid moment, all these little moments have built up that all the team gave us special moments you'll never forget. I think our game of hockey is in a much better place because of that event.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
We welcome Utah's Barrett Hayton. Does the P word come up? Do you look at the standings on a daily basis?
You look at the standings, you obviously know what other teams are doing, but at the same time, we know what we have to do. And we talked about it kind of before the break and using the break to kind of have a springboard to this last stretch, kind of be dialed in and feeling good right from the start and trying to build that momentum.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. 24/7 hockey talk.
Pittsburgh is the weirdest situation. It's like the start of the year and you tried to pretend that, we're going to do a retool on the fly. No, you're not. They're terrible, but the attitude, nothing to look here. Keep moving. Nope, Sid wants to play. They're terrible. Like Sidney Crosby's next game that matters is the Olympics. That could be the only time he plays again in a game that matters.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favourite team.
So this road trip is not going to start off on a good wing, if you will, but the Golden Knights.
And it feels odd to say the start of this road trip because they were just home for one. But they have the 3 games on the road before the break.
Yep.
And then Chicago, Boston, New York, Pittsburgh. So 7 out of 8 on the road and then back on the road here.
Chris Tanev practiced with the team today, was on the ice, so he's got to be getting close, which will be a welcome addition, obviously, to the Leaf defense corps, as Saad brings it in, and the shot is gloved easily there by Stolars, and so a face-off will come to the right of Anthony.
Brennan Saad was topic of conversation, is maybe because of his connection with Greg Berube and winning the Stanley Cup with Berube in St. Louis, that he might have been an option, but opted for Vegas. And a couple of years, the year Vegas won the Cup, Ivan Barbashev was the addition. It didn't seem like a big deal at the time, but he's an 18-goal scorer now.
Golden Knights get it down in the Leaf corner on the far side. Trying to dig it free there was David Camp, and he has. And now Morgan Riley with a bank pass that's going to get down into the Vegas end, and it is Robertson hustling down there to prevent icing, and now back of the net, Timmins, or at least Lorenz getting it back in front of the net. Camp can't get a shot away, and Vegas will get the puck out at center and just get it into the Leaf zone. A shot deflects to the left wing side. Blockered away, back of the net now for Myers. Leafs get it again out at center, but too far for Robertson. Leafs have got a change going, and Vegas gets in across the line with Hurdle dropping the puck back. Hanifin with a pass to the far side, deflects into the corner. Timmins got it freed up. Leafs play it off the boards and out at center. Nyes will force things back into Vegas territory. Matthews couldn't come up with it. Played out at center ice. Nylander for Matthews. Cross the line. Matthews against the boards. Got it into the slot area, but it was knocked away and played right back down. And a good hit there by Nylander. Took down his man. Kolasar. Puck back out into the center ice area. Under 2 minutes to play. Vegas Golden Knights will pick up their 80th point of the season and their 37th victory, 23rd of which has come on home ice. Centering pass in front, trying to get a shot away there was Pontus Holmberg, but the right leg of Hill got out and knocked that away. Back in across the line for Keegan Kolasar, who gets it down into the zone. Round back of the net, Holmberg is there, and it'll be played ahead at center. So, will there be any difference as far as the lineup is concerned by Saturday when the Leafs are in Colorado to play the Avalanche? The trade deadline on Friday will dictate that. And really, if there is going to be any additions, there has to be some subtractions.
Yeah, and we don't
just
know
too many bodies.
We don't know what Colorado's going to look like on Saturday.
No,
either.
exactly. Robertson in across the line was knocked down into the corner by Korzak, who takes Robertson in against the boards and just pins him there. The puck comes out in front of the net, and it's knocked away to the near side. And the final seconds will tick down as the Knights get it out at center and get it down into the Toronto end. So Vegas started quickly. No question that Joseph Woll did not have a good first period. Gave up 3 on goals by Hurdle, Howden, and Eichel. Then Hanifin and Pearson scoring in the second before Matthews and Marner rounded out the scoring in this one. And it is a final 5-2.
Yeah, 3 goals on 7 shots for Joseph Woll. And you mentioned he had the tough one in Pittsburgh, picked up a win, but it was 6-5 in overtime over the Penguins. So he has a tough first period, and I thought the Leafs were able to generate at least something in the opening period, out shooting the Golden Knights 16-8. But in the second period, there was nothing. No pushback, no jump. It was really, it looked like a practice session where Vegas was just practicing the power play for 20 minutes and built the 5-0 lead. Matthews scored late. You liked that there wasn't a full mail-in in the third period. They hold Vegas to just 3 shots on goal, but that probably had as much to do with Vegas as it did with the Leafs. They knew they had enough to win the game, and they were just going to coast at home, and that's exactly what they did.
So we invite you to join us on Saturday. It's a 7 o'clock start, despite the game being in Colorado. And we will have that action for you. We hope that you will join us right here on TSN 1050 as the Maple Leafs are entertained by the Avalanche. And so for Jimmy and everybody here, thanks. Well, if you have stayed up with us, thanks.
And this will conclude our broadcast day.
Oh, it is. Yes, there's no post-game show. Thank you. Do you want to do the test pattern now? Yeah.
I get a headache if I do it.
Yeah, I know you will. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Fantasy Footballers are on Sirius XM.
It's about time you won your league, and we're here to help.
Becoming a fantasy football champion is a year-long process, and the biggest fantasy football podcast has the insight you need. Listen to the Fantasy Footballers podcast right now on the Sirius XM app.
Fantasy football is fun. Winning is even more fun, and our listeners do both.
And catch the Fantasy Footballers Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern on Fantasy Sports Radio Channel 87.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Team Canada's John Cooper was the most.
That was a tough loss. That was a rough game, insiders. Oh boy. 5-2. It was over before it started tonight. Wall was pulled after letting up 3 goals. Stoley came in, but he couldn't save it. So we bounce back. We come back on Saturday night, hockey night in Canada from Denver, Colorado, taking on the Avs. Should be a fun game. A huge shout out once again to Miss Veronica Tobias. Wow. Miss V. Get home safe. Thank you so much for sending over these pictures, and she just sent over an amazing video of the second goal. I actually just sent it over to Jelly to see if he might include it in his stuff or if he even sees it, because he is working hard. Right now is his prime time, and it's late. So there you go. Big shout out to Jelly. Make sure to watch out for Jelly Leafs HD and his highlights. Man, tough game tonight. Go hit the like button over there. Hit the like button here if you haven't done so already. I will let the post-game run as long as, if there is any. Sounded like there's not going to be any, but we'll see. There's Danny Dansoy, Philippines. I love it as well. Wayne, have a good day at work, man. Enjoy your day. I'm going to bed because I got to wake up and do it all over again tomorrow. Another busy day with the 9 to 5, but no streams tomorrow. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with myself tomorrow night. Driving around with the kids and all the practices. So I'm going to try and put up a video here if there's any post game, but I don't think there is. And we'll go from there. Just took a little video of all the stuff we were doing tonight, and we'll see if we can't get it up before the end of the game. But good night, everybody. Thank you so much. There's Mushroom. What's up there? Knights have extra armor on. No wonder Leafs lost. The Knights, man, they whooped us tonight. No doubt about that. All right, I'm going to try uploading this video, and then I'm going to bed. Everybody have a great day tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Cheers. And I'm going to figure out this lighting with this awesome, cool green wall. Thanks, TSI Allison. I really appreciate it for taking care of that while I've been working on the rest of the stuff. Go Leafs, go. See you guys on Saturday. Triple header Saturday. Don't forget, TFC against FC Cincinnati. We'll be live for that one. Raptors are playing. Leafs are playing. All at the same time. Should be interesting. Go Leafs, go. Tough loss tonight.
Sixth Man of the Year. 10 threes and 10 boards. 43 points, a career high for Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard. This guy's on my S list. You know what's not fun is betting over 2.5 made threes from Peyton Pritchard. Waiting until he gets in. The guy's averaging 30 minutes a game. He's making 3.5 threes a game. I bet him the one game he plays 17 minutes against the Knicks that Sunday, hits 1 3. Ay, ay, ay. I haven't made any bets really in the last 2 weeks. Although I did have $10 left over in an account and I need 20 to cash out. So I just threw $10 on the Bulls to beat the Magic tomorrow straight up. So we're rooting for that now. I didn't just want, whatever. 10 to win 20. I don't know. I don't know. I've been losing so much. Ever since I had the Eagles minus 19 on a totally alternate line, where I could have won many returns of my bet. And then they only won by 18 because of that. I mean, that was that the Super Bowl existed for no reason other than the sports gods telling me, Bart, save your money. So I put it all in the stock market. And now I'm sweating that out now, too. 855-212-4227, 855-212-4227, talking some different contract things. A lot of news and notes in the NBA or the NFL today. Really, I look at what you guys want to call in about. It is all over the place, so let's go smorgasbord. Let's go to Lou in Rochester. What's up, Lou?
King Parts, I love your show, man.
I love you, Lou.
I find that contrast, Max Crosby, insane. I don't know how personnel people can sometimes get paid in the NFL. That contract is similar to Deshaun Jackson's contract and the Herschel Walker trade. The dude has not been a difference maker for the past several years. Who are you
thinking of?
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Max Crosby. You're talking about someone, but it's not Max Crosby. Who are you thinking of?
Crosby, the defensive end for the Raiders. What's his name?
Well, there's a Max Crosby for the Raiders who... Yeah, this year he played 12 games and 7.5 sacks. The year before that, 14.5. The year before that, 12.5. Widely considered to be one of the best, maybe other than T.J. Watt or Myles Garrett, defensive players in the league.
He's not. Have you ever seen him play? Garrett
never,
is, though.
Never. In all my watching of football, I still have yet to. You guys are you're getting at my patience here. You're getting at my patience. What is this? It's not. What? Is it a joke? Is this sport? Max Crosby, yeah, you got a bunch of money. Pretty much everyone's like, that makes sense. I guess what you could say is, I mean, yeah, it's still a lot to commit to a guy, but I don't know that you're lower than that. A non-factor against the Bills 2 years ago where he had 6 tackles? He's only played the Bills twice. Have you seen him play? I don't think he's thinking of Max Crosby. I think he's thinking of Joey Bosa, who got cut today. Because he's been injured. Or is he thinking about somebody else? Who else is on that Raiders team?
Dude, the Raiders are not good. That Max Crosby is the only guy that I do know on the team.
Who's he thinking about?
I would think
Jack Jones?
Yeah, but isn't Jack Jones young? Like, he's not even up for
Malcolm Kuntz? I'm just naming guys. What?
First of all, he's at Deshaun Jackson's contract. Nope, that's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that we all picked up on. I don't understand. I don't understand. You guys, some of these calls, it's like, how many rakes can I step on?
Yeah, what do you side you a Bob? Great bit.
All right. Marcus in Denver won't let us down. I know that, Marcus.
Hey, Bart. Thanks for having me on the greatest sports talk program in the world. And as long as you got the Odyssey app, it's an international program. And
that's right.
Unlike Barry in Boston, I've actually listened to the Bart Winkler show from Sao Paulo before. So
how about that?
Yeah, there you go. So quick note, I want you to know that the executive producer, Carlos with a K, is actually a famous YouTuber by day that goes by the name of Brian636.
Who?
On a second note, I wanted to get your thoughts on Giannis, where you are, if you still care about MVPs for him. I know NBA is a little different than NFL, or if you just want to see him win rings at this point. And lastly, I wanted to talk about the fat, drunk, white, no defense playing European in the Western Conference. And for some reason, people's mind go to Luka, but mine go to Jokic. And I'm wondering if you think he will win another ring before the end of his career. Thanks for taking my call, Bart.
You know, I was watching Jokic the other day. Who's Brian? Was that something you knew? What was that?
I didn't know who that guy was until Marcus had called.
So who is he?
Well, I'll be honest. I still don't know who he is, but supposedly he's a YouTuber from Chicago that doesn't reveal his face. He rides around on a motorcycle, so that's how people know him. I'm not familiar with his work. I'm going to look it up because I don't know who this guy is, but apparently I sound like him.
Oh, okay.
I would actually say he probably sounds like me.
Yeah, you sound like Kevin Owens when you get fired up. That's who you sound like.
No, not today. I won't be.
No, today you sound like ass.
Oh, straight up crap. Tomorrow will be honey and chamomile tea.
I'm not going to come in if my voice is bad. I made that decision. Because for a lot of times I do come in and I do a show. But to whose benefit? So.
Definitely mine.
Well, I think tonight I'm just going to swallow a box of nails and see what that does to my voice.
That probably wouldn't be good for your health, period. Brian636 is a Chicago-based professional stunt rider, veteran, and YouTuber who creates motorcycle vlogs and stunts. He rides Harleys, sport bikes, and supermotos around the world. He's a former Marine Corps veteran who found purpose after leaving the military. That is eerily parallel to me, where I am a Chicago-born professional sports producer.
Mm-hmm.
I ride in vehicles, also a veteran, and I've dabbled in YouTube. Scary.
This is quite a specific Guy to name. All right. I'd play a video of him talking, but I don't trust that these guys are swearing.
Oh, I would almost guarantee that they probably are.
And I can't, like, accidentally play somebody swearing because then it's like a national emergency.
Well, I have the dump, but, you know, if you can't, for whatever reason, stop the video, I can't dump 100 times.
I can't. I can't, in the middle of the night, accidentally ever play something where a naughty word gets through. But the guy that's got the show during lunchtime on ESPN, when it's being shown in schools and offices across the country, can say S and F as much as he wants.
Childish.
But now isn't going to go to the draft because they were mean to him at the combine.
Oh, good.
As far as Giannis, I'm not like, you know, I wish he was more in the MVP conversation. I think he's playing as well as he's playing. I'm good with SGA getting it. I don't think he should get it. I don't think Jokic should get it over him. I did watch Jokic play the other day, and all I could think about was this guy does not care about basketball.
No, this is literally a means to an end. He just
but he plays so well.
He is so good at it. Imagine if he did care. And I think that's why that's really the.
But I don't know it'd be different, Carlos. He plays like he cares, and then they talk to him, and then he's like, yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I just want to go race my horses and drink, you know, whatever clear liquid I have here. But that's what Nico Harrison was like trying to convince everybody and pull the wool over sheep's eyes. We're saying like, hey, look at Jokic, man. That guy drinking a lot. You know, he's not going to last. You know, we don't want Luka to turn into him. Oh, you don't want a guy that's going to win like 3 MVPs, a championship, who, yeah, he might not have basketball in the forefront of his brain and everything, but he's damn good at what he does. There are plenty of people who go to work and hate what they do. I love this job. I get paid squat. There was a job that I had previously, completely different industry. I was making a crap load of money. I was good financially, really, really good. I hated every waking moment of that job, which is why I now do this, among several other reasons. But I hated that job. Work is sometimes just work. So I don't blame Jokic for going through the motions because, listen, that's not what maybe his dream is just to race horses and do drinks and, like, jump off of boats or not work out at all. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching this guy. And all I can think about was he doesn't care. Yet he's out there, like, I think, you know what? I think he does care. I think he says he doesn't care. Because he does care.
No, he doesn't care.
This guy thought he got fouled. There was a play where he thought he got fouled, and he's screaming. And then he's screaming like he can't. And then they're like, oh, no, we made a mistake. And then he's like, but he's got, like, in the game, he's trying hard and he's got passion, and then he tries to play it off like he doesn't care. I don't buy it. I don't buy this whole act. I think it's all an act. I think he downplays it.
That's one elaborate act. Dude, he didn't want to even go to the parade. He wanted to go home.
He's kidding. It's an act.
I don't know. You know, next time we get him on, we'll ask him.
I did try to interview him once
at
a game. It went terrible because he waited. It was me and 2 guys on the beat that were just trying to get sound bites from him, and he talked to this guy, I think it's from Serbia, for an hour. So we're waiting. These guys needed sound, and I had to wait because I was told, Bart, get Nikola Jokic sound when you go cover this Bucks game tonight. So for my job, I had to try to do it, and then he's like the happiest guy you ever see. And then he comes and talks to the other beat guys, us Americans, and he gave short answers, hated being there. I was like, okay, dude, what are you doing? Don't be this guy. I don't like it. One other thing I wanted to bring up here tonight is I saw a mock draft with Shedeur Sanders. Remember a couple nights ago I saw him at like 28?
That's ridiculous, by the way. But yes.
Yeah. I thought this is ridiculous. So There's a guy whose mock drafts that I respect, Dane Brugler with The Athletic. And I started looking at his mock draft, okay? And I think the last one he did, he had Shador at 6 to the Raiders. So this one, he's got Cam Ward, number 1, to the Giants in a trade. And we'll talk more about Tennessee and what they might do tomorrow. He's got Abdul Carter at 2. Then he's got the Titans who've traded down Travis Hunter. Then he's got the Patriots taking a tackle. And Jacksonville going O-line. And Ashton Genty all the way up to 6 for the Raiders, which I guess a lot of people around the league are kind of like also saying might be a thing. And Shador Sanders in this mock draft isn't taken until 21 with Pittsburgh. The write-up is Sanders is going to be a wild card in this draft. He could go in the top 6 or fall out of the first round entirely. And neither outcome would be a shock. I think it would be a shock if he fell out of the first round. He is not a first-round quarterback for a lot of NFL teams. But all it takes is one front office to roll the dice. If he falls out of the top 10, things get interesting. The Steelers are looking for answers at the QB position. That could be one of those things. That could be a Rodgers situation where Rodgers did not get taken 1, and then Alex Smith did. Nobody else needed a quarterback, so Aaron Rodgers falls to 24. So, all right, I saw a mock draft with Shador Sanders in the low 20s.